The name of the show is Blank Check.
Hey, guess what? Podcasts? I recorded one, and it was 3.5 hours long.
3.5 hours long?
Yep.
Oh, because Sandy Plankton said they only run 2 hours tops.
Sandy Plankton? You think I would do an entire podcast and not know as much as Sandy Plankton? It was 3.5 hours, not 2.
Very good. So it's the end of the movie.
Yeah, it's one of the last
One
lines.
of the
It makes me
emotional
cry.
lines. It does. Makes me cry too.
There's like 5 different moments in this film that at very least get me right up onto the edge. On the brink of the tear.
To me, the big moment is just Crash saying his age. That's the moment.
That's
gets
the
me.
one?
Yes.
Interesting.
Beautiful moment. It's so beautiful.
This movie is just filled with these little grace notes that are, I just think so elegant, that are like funny and charming and don't feel like they're hitting too hard.
Agree.
It is, in my opinion, this is like one of those movies that should be taught in every kind of like conventional Hollywood
Sort of storytelling lab or whatever.
Yeah, because it is an incredible setup payoff movie.
Another thing that's filled with grace notes is the notebook of the main character from Project Hail Mary.
Oh, because his name is Ryland Grace. I think there's not enough discussion of the fact that Ryan Gosling plays Ryland Grace.
Ryland Grace. Because it's a Hail Mary full of grace, I believe, is the...
No.
Jesus Christ.
I think that's what
No.
Andy Weir, who's, in my opinion, a master of subtlety, is going for there.
I enjoy that movie
Yeah,
greatly,
good fun.
and I think
Good fun.
I'm now forced by law to knock it down a star. Now that you've explained that to me.
I mean, it's just my read on it. I mean, look, why is it called Tinder?
Speaking of, why is it called Tinder?
Because you get matches.
Oh, Jesus fucking.
And it's one of those things that I tell people all the time, and they're like, "That can't be true." And I'm like, "That's literally why it's called that." That's when they came
Unfortunately,
up with that name in 2012.
I am required by law to go onto the App Store and knock Tinder down a star as well.
Because famously you rated it 5 stars in the App Store.
Perfect app. Only good things have ever come of it. In my mind, there are only a few perfect apps: Facebook, Twitter,
X. But yeah,
yes,
Truth Social.
Well,
Truth Social, very good.
I count Twitter and X as 2 separate apps, and
Okay,
both
right.
of them get
Both
5 stars
5
for me.
stars.
Right? It's Terminator
actually,
versus
X,
Terminator 2.
Right, X. I wish I could give it 6 stars.
That's
because
the
they
problem.
improved on perfection.
They did. I'm just saying that to invoke another Albert Brooks film, everyone made a fucking meal out of, you're telling me Emma Mackey is Ella McKay? We've gone too far. No one's saying, really, in this day and age, in this economy, Ryan Gosling is Ryland Grace?
Ryland Grace.
Oh, you can't spell one without the other.
They're just very similar. It's
What's
weird.
Rocky. The Rock character is called Rocky.
Yeah.
That was also
One of our biggest movie stars,
little on the
I would say
nose.
now. He's maybe top 10, Ren Track.
What was Tony Erdmann called?
What was Tony Erdmann called?
Sandra Huller. You know, it'd be funny if she was just called Tony Erdmann. I know that's not her name in that movie either.
Yeah, it's the dad's character's name.
I know.
What's her name in the movie?
It'd be funny if she was just like, "Hello, I'm Tony Erdmann. I run space over
Sandy
here."
Heller? Yeah.
I do think now we need to have her singing in every movie.
I agree.
Look, I mean, I assumed that was a reference to, to Tony Erdmann, right? That's Lord and Miller being cute, having her do karaoke, and I thought that was fun.
And also being like, hey, she does this in a movie. It kind of like knocks everyone's socks off. That's an effective move that
Right.
we've identified that
It'll work.
99% of the audience won't have seen.
That's
like we
true.
all sit there patting ourselves on the back going like, oh, interesting Tony Erdmann reference.
Maybe they should do Tony Erdmann in IMAX.
Wasn't there going to be an ill-fated American Tony Erdmann?
Lena
Nicholson
Dunham.
and Dunham.
Lena Dunham, right?
Two chillest
Excuse me.
stars. Yep.
You were wrong. Lena Dunham was writing and directing. Kristen Wiig was going to co-star with Jack Nicholson.
Oh, I didn't actually know that Wig was involved.
Yes.
I mean, the weird thing about that is it's like, don't do that. But I'm like, those are the people to pick, I suppose.
It's also a movie. I would say on paper, Force Majeure had this, but Downhill didn't nail this, where you're like, there is a version of this premise that works as a much broader studio comedy. I would not resent you trying to remake it and just doing the more obvious version of
Right.
it.
Maybe don't make it 2 hours and 40 minutes long or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
Would
There's
they
a
have the scene where they all get
fun setup
naked?
there. Yeah. Nicholson was going to show a lot of dick. That's what I heard.
But Tony
This
Erdmann's the
episode
one
of
who
Finding Nemo,
doesn't
yeah.
get naked in that scene, right? Because does he show up in the outfit, in the animal, in the beast outfit?
No, that's the very end.
Yeah, that's the end.
She's naked, and the younger woman that he's with is
and
naked.
the boss shows up.
Right, the boss is naked. Maybe he's not naked.
I think Tony Erdmann, yeah.
Do you know that the younger naked woman, and I already
go.
resent framing it this way.
Dear me.
Do you know
Have
that
you seen
that
Tony Erdmann?
actress,
I love Tony Erdmann.
So good.
do you know that actress
That actress.
co-wrote Malignant? And I was
Wow.
like, why did that happen?
Ingrid Bissou.
And then I dug deeper. She is married to James Wan.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow. Engaged to him in 2019. Tony Erdmann came out in 2016. Maybe he saw it and was like, who's this beautiful woman?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And what movies could she possibly have in her head about monster skull creatures?
it is funny that she was like, you know what I've always been thinking about? What if there was face on back of face?
Yes.
You know, what if you had one extra face?
One extra face.
And it does martial arts.
On the
Wow,
place-
she's in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
yeah.
And she's in all his movies. She's in The Nun. Well,
Yeah.
he didn't make that, but
Yeah. But she has a screenplay credit on Malignant, right?
she sure does.
Yeah.
And that is a delightful screenplay.
That's
It's a well-written film.
another film that should be studied in schools.
That's a great film.
Yeah.
The only problem I have with that film is it came out in the deep pandemic, and I kind of don't remember it as I need to rewatch it.
Yeah.
You know, that was a Project Popcorn movie.
I saw it in theaters and I overheard one of the worst post-movie conversations I've ever had. Just two bros at the urinal saying like, dude, is that like bad on purpose? Like he needs to have his filmmaking license revoked. Like, how do you not understand that you're making a movie that is like literally bad?
Right.
And they just kind of kept stewing in that zone.
I have no patience
No.
for people who view things like Malignant in that way.
You just don't deserve movies. It's not even you don't deserve nice things. You don't deserve movies.
I deserve all the movies, though, including the movie Finding Nemo.
In my opinion, a perfect film.
Yeah, I almost think we don't deserve it as humanity.
I think it's the Tinder
Did we
of
deserve it in
movies.
2013? I mean, 2003?
2003.
We needed it in
2003.
2003. I don't know if we deserved it. It was like The Dark Knight.
We were in Iraq.
It was the hero we needed, not the hero we deserved. We were in Iraq.
I was 17 years old. I saw this film in America. I was here on vacation.
On a holiday.
On holiday, I saw it by myself. I'm pretty sure at the Regal Union Square.
And I'm sure you spent the entire movie fuming
Oh, yes?
at the consideration it showed towards the Australian people.
Oh my god, I didn't even make the connection.
Why
that
do
we
these
can have
fucking fish want to go to Sydney?
a David Australian
I-
corner.
It's a lawless land.
I would say this movie does not make Australian humans look good. And the
Oh,
only
no.
two speaking Australians are the dentist and the granddaughter or
I-
whatever.
Darla's
They're both
like
a little
the world's
villainous.
most horrific
The dentist
child.
is a fun guy.
He's kind of fun. I
He's
guess he's
fun.
sort of. He's kind of the classic dentist. Like I think the humor of that is really good. Where he's like, "Ah, how you doing?" And then he just like tortures people all day.
Now David's whipping the stereotypes back up.
Well, that's what he talks like.
Sure.
How you doing, mate?
Yeah.
Do you think the dentist should realize what's going on with Darla and stop giving her fish? I guess he doesn't know that fish
This
talk.
is the thing I really
He
like.
doesn't know that like Alice and Janney could voice one of these
No,
things.
it's the thing I really like about the Toy Story. Certainly, the first two. Toy Story 1 has this. This has this. Some of the Pixar movies have this, but this is a movie in which no one is consciously a villain.
Yeah. I guess you're right. Because like
The conflict is
even the
not-
sharks are nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the anglerfish doesn't really have consciousness.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
like not a sentient
Although-
fish.
Although Becca, good point. Like, what's up with that? Why doesn't he?
Well, there's also we learn that there exists in the ocean petting zoos with snails.
Yes.
So snails aren't people, but then like little shrimps
There is a
are
caste
people.
system.
I love when a Pixar movie just has a fun joke because they're like, that's a fun joke. And then like 20 years later, I'm like, but how does this fit into their theory of consciousness?
Yeah, this works
Like,
into the implications of like there
Right.
being a Cars Pope.
David, I can explain it.
Sure.
It's very easy. The witch from Brave carved 20 wooden sculptures,
Yeah,
each of them
no,
given
I'm
life.
well aware. Are they still doing that with like, like Elio will come out and they're like, all right, how do we fit this into our grand Pixar unified theory?
Well, Elio just exists like
He's
in
just a
present
boy.
day Earth and present day space.
Yeah, I guess
Yes.
recently they've been kind of hitting. Here, Griff, let me tell you something, and then we'll introduce the show. Okay,
Mhm.
I just want to tell you one thing. Okay,
Yeah.
I was at the bar last week with my friend Caitlin, co-host of Hits Different, my baseball podcast.
Secret podcast.
It's not a secret. I want everyone to listen to it. Watching the Mets game, and then they're like, "Hey, we're doing trivia." Hey, you want to do trivia? They have a sheet.
This is kind of how you and I became
This is true.
such close
Accident-
friends.
And I was kind of like, bro, you're a sports bar. We don't need trivia. Like,
Yeah.
pick a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm already watching, but okay. And they're like, there's 4 rounds, and you get to double one of the rounds, and you have to pick. We'll tell you the categories now.
Like
Franklin
Daily
Park?
Double, you make it double or nothing for the value
Franklin
of the
Park
points.
does it
Okay.
too. It wasn't
Okay.
the bar was 99 Rogers, not Franklin Park. But
Okay,
same idea.
Same region.
And so he's like, the categories are going to be like, this one's music, this one, and then he's like, the category 3 is animation. And
Yeah.
I said to Caitlin, like, we're going to double that one. And Caitlin's like, really? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure.
You're
I'll be
now
good at that.
Yeah.
And it was 20 questions.
Mhm.
Write down every Pixar movie, no sequels.
Yeah.
So write down every Pixar movie, excluding the sequels. There's 20.
Did you break a sweat?
I didn't. I was like, okay, great. And I like kept going,
Yeah.
and I got 18. Do you want to know the 2 I forgot? Like then
Yeah.
I run out of steam, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Did you forget Leo?
nope, had Elio.
Does Lightyear count as a sequel?
No, yes, Lightyear counted as the sequel. He didn't want
Okay.
Lightyear.
This is tough because I'm like the ones that are.
Soul.
Did you forget Soul?
I did not forget Soul. I'll give you a hint. One is a bad and somewhat forgotten Pixar movie.
Good Dinosaur.
Bingo.
See,
Good Dinosaur, which I've seen many times, and
Right.
yet still I
I
couldn't
was
grasp
gonna
onto
say,
it.
I assumed you'd remember that one because it is the shorthand, easy punchline, bad Pixar
And yet, even then,
Yeah.
its anonymity still hurt it. The other one is one of the most iconic Pixar franchises, the worst one, but nonetheless a huge one.
Cars.
Correct.
You forgot Cars.
Isn't that crazy? Just
Yeah.
because like Cars suck so bad that I kept being like, and what? I had fucking Elio, I had
Yeah.
Soul,
Where
I
were
had
you?
Turning
Where were
Red.
you in 2006? That
I didn't
this
see
time?
Cars in theaters. I'll tell you that much.
I still haven't seen it.
You still that actually.
I haven't seen it.
Boggles the
Well,
mind.
And
I
my
like,
daughter never got into it. Like she's seen it, but she
Yet.
never yet. Although I don't know, it hasn't really happened. I don't know.
She still hasn't watched any of it.
I
No,
love
she's seen
the
Cars, but
concept
doesn't like it. Yeah.
of Lightning McQueen. I love,
love
the
the
concept,
concept of
of
Lightning.
Mater
Speak on this.
and
Speak on
Bonnie
this.
and Luigi and Doc Holliday or whatever. Like, I love the concept of all these cars. I just
Uh-huh.
haven't seen the movie.
I'm a little surprised. It feels like a thing you would hyperfixate on because there's like a lot of rabbit holes to fall down in the Cars universe of just lines of thinking. Not even like actual things to study.
That is true.
Well, I love those. Like, I'll watch a YouTube video where
Right.
Yeah.
someone,
Right.
does
I
this
watched-
thing where they connect it all, and Cars is actually sci-fi
See,
post-apocalyptic.
that's the stuff to
Right.
me. I mean, some of that's interesting to talk
no,
about.
but
with
it's too literal.
Yes.
Having to make it all.
I just think like
Right,
in the
all
way
makes
that
sense with our world.
the way that
right.
you're saying like, oh, they have a petting zoo with snails. Like, what does that mean? Cars has 7 things like that in every single frame.
Every frame. It's so true.
Right. And it's not stuff that like Pixar people are digging into online. It's the kind of stuff that like William S. Burroughs would spiral over at a bar.
You know what? Maybe if it was a movie called High Speed Rail.
Go
I
on.
like
Thank
it.
you. Exactly.
Yeah, maybe I just
And
don't like
Biden's
this
in it?
car culture. Wait. The Biden video that came out yesterday.
Where he's like, doesn't this guy look like Obama? And he just brings a black guy on stage.
No, but then the thing that makes
you
it
should be
funny
standing on the other side.
is he looks like him just enough
Just
for
enough.
it to be the funniest
Right.
thing
I
in
mean,
the
it's not
world.
like he brought out like an 80-year-old
No, 'cause at
man or
first you
something.
think
Like,
he's just
what's going to
being-
happen?
Right.
Yes. You think it's just going to be like some, like random person in the crowd.
Right.
Biden is just being senile.
He
Right.
didn't
But
bring
he
like
comes
Aaron
up-
Pierre on stage.
Lanterns. They're going to solve the crime with their powers.
Where are the jackets?
Mufasa?
You don't need the full jumpsuits anymore. Dress
He's
like
Aaron
a
Pierre.
person.
Aaron Pierre was the voice
the
of young
jacket in the
Mufasa.
closet.
He's young. He's
In
like
Barry
middle.
Jenkins's
He's
Mufasa.
middle Mufasa.
Middle Mufasa.
Right. And then
Because young Mufasa sings my favorite song in the world,
Which is called.
the "I Always Wanted a Brother" song.
I always
that what
wanted a
it's called?
brother. You don't remember that?
The one that goes, "I'm not."
I
gonna
have
do it."
seen Barry Jenkins's Mufasa: The Lion King.
I
I'll
have
admit
not.
it washed over me pretty fast. It didn't didn't really retain me.
I
I'm
still have
making
not-
you listen to the song after
Yeah.
this.
I still have not listened to that, watched that film. But
Me
the
neither,
trailer
me
only
neither.
had one snippet of a song. The song's, of course, written by
Yeah.
friend of the show, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Is it the Mads Mikkelsen?
No, it was just you heard them repeat, I always wanted a brother, like 5 times.
He
That's-
always wanted a brother.
So it was kind of memed. I
Yeah,
always
it's one
wanted
of
a
the
brother.
many hooks in that song.
Always wanted a brother.
Bye Bye is a song.
It is.
Yeah, that's Mads Mikkelsen's villain
Okay.
song.
It is a little insensitive of you to invoke hooks on the Finding Nemo episode because, of course, those are the true unseen villain.
Yes, man, like Bambi,
The hook. The hook.
or Hook, like Peter Pan.
Yeah. If he went hand fishing,
Mm.
hook fishing.
I mean, sure. I've lost this
Picture him
train of thought,
sticking
but
a worm
okay.
on that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The dentist is
Digging around.
benevolent. He's not fucking catching Nemo,
Mhm.
frying him up. He
No.
thinks he's just like my little
It's
niece.
nice to have fish in
He
my
says
tank.
She
that
loves
he
fish.
saved him. He's like, there was this little baby clownfish all alone, and I like rescued it.
That's a little bit of a savior complex thing where it's like, he was in the fucking water. Like
He found Nemo.
Sure, okay.
He saw the poster. He was
fish
like,
found in water.
Right.
challenge accepted.
But you're right. There's no real villain. The closest thing is Bruce the Great White Shark, and he has worked to overcome his villainy.
But that's like a sequence. Anglerfish is a sequence.
In 100 thrilling, perfect, funny sequences.
Yes,
And
exactly.
100 thrilling, perfect, funny minutes.
There are
The movie's
contained
100 minutes long.
self-contained conflicts
Yep.
within the larger conflict, which is just how do you get across the fucking ocean? I think this movie sets up so perfectly.
It's a
The
G-rated
moment that
film.
Nemo's taken, you just start doing the math and you're like, how could he possibly find him?
It's sort of the Pixar magic
Right.
of the moving truck drives away,
Yeah,
and Woody is but a tiny little man.
right.
How the hell is he going to get wherever they're going?
I think this is the simplest and most extreme version of that, where you're just like, I don't even understand how he could begin to make contact with him, to locate where he is, to scale that distance.
I'm getting emotional at you saying that,
It is
thinking about everything that Marlon and Dory accomplished.
It is the movie, the moment in this film that makes me cry without fail every single time is when Nigel recounts the news that his
That's a lovely moment. It's a lovely moment done well by Oscar winner Jeffrey Rush. As
yes,
a pelican called Nigel.
and
and
Oscar
Nemo's
nominee Thomas Newman kind of going
eyes
hard in that
widening.
moment.
Oh, the
Yes.
score.
His eyes widening as Nigel's story goes down
Yeah,
in the
of,
mix.
of his dad's
and you
heroism.
see him pantomiming all the things that have happened, and Nemo realizes how much his father loves him.
It's good stuff.
It gets me choked up just thinking about it. Today we're talking about Finding Nemo, which is one of the most successful movies in history.
What is this miniseries called?
I'm telling you what it's called.
Please.
I was talking about it with a guest who will be coming up on this miniseries.
Yes.
I'm not going to say. And I said, I've had this one locked and loaded in the chamber. No need to pitch.
Okay.
This miniseries is called, and it's not going to work when I say it out loud, but it's really going to work
It
visually.
will spell. This thing will spell.
Podsy. Podd.
Hyphen C.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Pod C.
I mean, what else are you going to
Yeah.
call it?
We're not going to call it Potting Nemecast.
Right. Or
Well-
Finding Podcast. Who cares?
Potting Casto.
In the pod of a cast.
Potting Casty. That's what was pitched to me. And I said, I don't think that's what's
Podsy.
Podsy.
Great. I love it. We're discussing here on Blank Check the
Pod
films.
Carter.
Pod Carter.
Name it after
Pod
his most
Carcast.
famous, memorable, beloved film.
You know what I also like about calling it Pod Carter? It implies that it should have been called Pod Carter of Cast, and then the of cast was cut out.
That is fun.
It could just be podcaster, but then it would be impossible to
We
tell
can't-
what that even
We can't do that.
is.
Right. But also, it's to pay respect to John Carter, it has to be the version of the title that doesn't really work.
We here are discussing this summer, this lovely summer that we're, I assume, having
Mhm.
the films of Andrew Stanton.
Mhm.
6 films total, I believe.
Yes, 2 of them released in 2026
2026,
alone.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes. A man after our own hearts.
This is Blank Check with Griffin and David. I'm Griffin.
I'm David.
It's a podcast about filmographies, directors who have massive success early on in their careers, such as releasing Finding Nemo, what at the time was the highest grossing animated film in history,
Indeed.
the highest grossing film Disney had ever released in any division, and I believe it was at the time the 6th highest grossing film in history. I know you always get angry when I try to get you
I'm
to
furious.
pull up these, what was the record at the time.
I can't.
I did some research. I found fucking Wayback Machine archived Box Office Mojo pages. It was the 6th highest grossing film of all time.
I remember when this film beat The Lion King to
Mhm.
become the highest grossing animated film of all time. Because there
Yes.
was a big fight on the Oscar Watch forums
Mhm.
about which was the sort of more worthy film for that title.
Yes.
Like some people are like, this sucks. Like this stupid, fish movie. Lion King's so good. Other people are like, Lion King's over. I remember
Nemo's
that.
a fucking masterpiece. It also was humongous overseas.
Yes.
In 2003, it made, I believe, $850 million worldwide.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And
It's the
this
number
is-
2 of 2003.
The only
Becca.
movie that beats it is Return of the King,
Right.
and Return of the King becomes only the 2nd film to ever make $1 billion.
Can you name the animated films that since dethroned the
So
movies
this is
we're
what I
talking
was
about.
this is what I was trying to do the math on, right? Because it has the record for a year. It kind of like blows the ceiling off of what an animated film can do, especially globally. And then Shrek beats it a year later. It beats the opening weekend record.
Shrek
2.
what?
Shrek 2.
Sure.
Shrek 2 beats it domestically, beats the opening
Uh-huh.
weekend record.
Right.
Shrek 2 becomes the third highest grossing film in history at the time.
We love it.
At the time,
Awesome.
I
Right.
think it was Titanic, Star Wars, and then Shrek 2 domestically.
And
This-
of those, I know my favorite.
Now, I would argue this is the beginning of, I say this respectfully, the enshittification of the all-time top 10.
Yeah, it just
Mm.
starts to be a lot of crap.
It also starts to
New
be like
stuff,
every year
sequels,
2
right.
movies enter the 10, so the churn becomes so fast.
Yeah.
Up until 2003, it felt like there was a 10 where you're like, of course, there are 2 Star Wars in there.
Gone
There's
with the
E.T.,
Wind.
there's
It's not
Titanic.
adjusted.
Not adjusted. The-
Oh, well, then it's a useless metric, not adjusted.
you could compare the 2 lists, but it also felt like the unadjusted numbers were like, even unadjusted, E.T. is still bigger than most movies ever released. And then everything starts kind of like usurping. So Shrek 2 dethrones Finding Nemo. And then I think Shrek 2 has it until Toy Story 3.
You are correct.
And then basically it becomes a sequel rally. This is the thing.
Despicable Me 2 does well, but I think doesn't quite beat Toy Story 3.
And then Finding Dory
but you-
overtakes it.
You have Dory, but what about Dory never overtook Toy Story 3. Although this is a
Really?
little complicated because a lot of re-releases have adjusted these numbers somewhat.
Sure.
But I can tell you, Frozen certainly beat it. Frozen becomes the new number 1. But beat Toy Story 3.
Domestically?
No,
Internationally?
worldwide. This is all
Worldwide.
worldwide.
Okay, okay.
I don't have domestic.
Okay.
This is worldwide. And then it's sort of like, do we count the Lion King remake?
This is the big question.
It is
It's
animated.
obviously a
It's
film
entirely
made by
animated.
computer graphics and animation.
They tried to pretend it wasn't. I would argue it held the record, but only for a little bit.
Yes, because Frozen 2... no, Lion King actually grows slightly more than Frozen 2.
And did Incredibles 2 take over at any
Incredible
point?
2's peak was 2.
Okay.
Second.
But I do think Incredibles 2 did take the domestic
I
for a
don't know.
moment. Yeah.
But then Inside Out 2 and Zootopia 2
Yes.
and Neja 2.
Right.
Neja 2 is now the number 1 highest grossing animated film worldwide. It has made $2.2 billion.
And Zootopia 2 is the
It's at
highest
1.8.
grossing American animated
There you
film.
go.
Right.
And also the best.
Yeah. But this is
I
another
like that movie.
this is another thing. There were very few animated sequels until Shrek 2.
Theatrically released.
Right. Shrek 2 helps break the taboo of like...
Toy Story 2 was an
The
outlier.
straight to video
Yeah.
Disney sequel.
Toy Story 2 is an outlier, of course, bumped up from home video to theatrical. It's massive, but it doesn't overtake Lion King. And then Shrek 2 is the first sequel to take the crown. And it does feel like the stigma is off of doing animated sequels, and then it's just everyone playing like I don't know, it's a baton race
crazy
between the
that they
franchises.
It's crazy that they did Rescuers Down Under,
Yes.
That
especially
is
when
crazy.
they did.
Wasn't that... Well, go ahead.
No,
he knows
I'll
why,
tell you what the
clearly.
logic was.
Right.
It was like Eisner and Katzenberg take over.
Right. And they're like, we want a sequel.
They're like, we should do a sequel. That feels like a thing we should
To like
do.
our least beloved.
No, but I think they were just
one.
kind of like, Rescuers is one of the only ones that makes sense for
Yeah,
a sequel.
Truly. That's what's
Most Disney
fascinating
movies
about
have
it.
a pretty definitive ending.
That's the thing. What's wild is they were like, it feels like good business sense to do a sequel, but also we should do a sequel that doesn't betray the integrity of the original film. So they still were making kind of like an artistically driven story decision where they're like, well, Rescuers is a book series. It feels more episodic. You can just send them on another mission. Every other Disney animated classic feels like a closed loop.
And with someone getting married or whatever. Or
Right.
Pinocchio becomes a real boy or whatever.
It was truly like people
Captain Hook is beheaded. Whatever happens
people
in that
won't
one.
be insulted if we do Rescuers too. It won't
Right.
be
Yeah.
betraying the sanctity.
They
of
should do
something.
Cinderella too and just like she got divorced.
Well, they did,
They did-
2 or 3 even straight to video,
I
and
did
one of them is
4.
a crazy time.
Yeah.
One.
One of
That
them is like a Back
Timelines.
to the Future
sounds good.
2.
That sounds good.
Shit. People like it.
Oh, they do. Oh, people like it, do
People,
they?
humans. I'm going to ask our guests, have you seen any of the direct-to-video Cinderellas?
I have not, but I'm sure I've watched some Jenny Nicholson or some such person recap them.
Yes. Yes. I think it's called a Stitch in Time, maybe.
Let's
It's
find
a
out.
something in time. And the weird thing about
Cinderella
those,
3: A Twist in Time.
A Twist in Time.
weird thing about those,
boy.
they came out at the same time as all of the Barbie straight-to-video ones, which
Right.
were also doing some very exciting things with the same
This
IP.
does say, unlike most direct-to-video sequels, this received generally positive reviews.
Yeah, people like this one.
So it's maybe it's like what's the fairy godmother goes back in time and like kills Hitler or whatever.
Yeah, that's why they like it.
Causes
So
problem.
yeah,
She
focus
fi-
groups
she
were
fixes
really
shit.
happy about that.
Do you know who wrote, or I shouldn't say wrote, but much like *Malignant*, has a screenplay credit, part of the team on many of those Barbies 2000s animated films?
Can you give a clue?
He was played by Brian Cox in a movie.
I don't know.
Robert McKee?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where Robert McKee's story, the book that everyone talks about of like, this is everything you need to learn about like
The 3-act structure.
studio
Right.
Western, popcorn screenplay structure. And they'd be like, what has this guy done? Why am I listening to this guy as an authority? And you look it up and it's mostly Barbie animated movies where he was like a story consultant. Today we're talking about Finding Nemo. Our guest, Rebecca Alter of Vulture.
Becca!
Hi.
Is this your main feed debut?
It's my main feed debut.
Wow.
And I'm going to say the best movie you've been asked to cover on this show.
Absolutely.
I think
said
this
Look
movie
Who's
is a
Talking
little
Now.
better, no offense, Ben, than Look Who's Talking Now.
Okay, fair
It's
enough.
slightly more successful. Has had slightly greater cultural impact.
Both talking animal movies, though.
True.
This is true.
I'm happy to carve Elaine.
It feels
Oh,
like it
yeah,
is.
right.
It is an interest of yours. Is that fair to say?
Yeah,
This is one of your beats as a journalist.
I guess so.
Oh,
I don't know.
Just other Finding Nemo records. It is still the highest grossing physical media release of all time.
is that so?
The Finding Nemo DVD is like, and part of it is just it comes out at the peak of DVD as a medium.
That DVD went triple platinum in the built-in minivan DVD player.
True.
In
true.
my mom's
It's
minivan.
the accessibility of the video game consoles are adding DVD players.
yeah,
DVD
yeah, yeah.
players are in cars now. DVD players are in computers.
You know what else was in Cars? Cars in the movie Cars.
I don't know if you guys caught this. A very insidious announcement. Not to
Oh,
Yeah,
invoke.
the
Oh,
baby
yeah.
Cars.
No,
I mean,
home entertainment.
that's the most evil shit I have ever seen.
They're doing baby cars?
They announced, Ben and Becca, they announced this week that there is a Disney Junior TV show that's like Muppet Babies with the Cars characters.
Oh, wait, but Lightning had never met them before.
I love that you know this much about the chronology without having seen any of the films.
Well, do you know why?
Why?
Because I love Radiator Springs and Disney's California Adventure. It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to on Earth. So I said I need to know the lore.
Fellow gentlemen of the Blank Check podcast, there is going to be a good amount of theme park talk on this episode. I regret to inform you.
I warned
Should I
David in
just
advance.
I brought like a sleeping bag that I could just like curl up under, or a hammock maybe.
Pour
Ben, can
the
we have a
caffeine.
Hammock on the porch.
You're staying wide
Sure.
awake for this shit.
Question about the cars.
yeah.
The baby cars.
Yeah.
Are they wearing diapers?
No, they're just kind of they're like
Because they're
little.
leaking oil?
they just like
It's a good
Yeah,
question.
I guess.
what's the term I'm looking for? Kawaii? Is that
Yeah,
the-
kawaii. I mean, like
They just make them squished
just
and
little-
rounder, and their eyes
their
are
eyes
bigger.
are bigger. I mean, we'll see this with Finding Dory, of course, when they
Yes.
have Baby Dory. You know, like
What is genuinely a $1 billion idea of like
Right.
put Baby
What-
Dory at the beginning of the film.
Dory small.
It saved the
Say what I
economy.
think the most consequential thing to come out of Cars is on the entire culture.
Mhm.
We all grew up with the Little Tykes red car, yellow roof.
Uh-huh.
That was a car.
Yeah.
Sometime after Cars, they gave that car a face, like eyes and a face.
Sure.
And now kids grow up with that car being
Yeah.
like a person.
Yeah.
Car that they're inside. And I don't think that would have happened.
This is
if not
what
for Cars.
Lightning Racers looks like. It only looks like 10% cuter than the regular cars.
Yeah, they actually
okay.
look identical.
but
for
I
the
imagine they're
sequel.
going to have little kid voices.
But is this suggesting that like Lightning went to Radiator Springs as a child
Great
and knew
question.
Mater? Because like
My
in
under-
Cars,
yep,
he's meeting
yep.
them all for the first time.
My understanding is that what it suggests is who gives a shit? It's going to make trillions of dollars. Much like Muppet Babies, which doesn't really make sense as anything other than a what-if alternate universe. The series follows Lightning McQueen as he takes on fresh challenges and races around Radiator Springs alongside his old pal Mater.
Is
it's-
it just kind of like, fuck it, like it's
Yeah.
parallel? Don't worry about it.
The
Yeah.
new friends are thrill-seeking drag car Pipes and mud-loving monster truck Miles,
Perfect.
which is a great name for a car.
I mean, it sounds like the fucking movie cast is back. Owen Wilson, Larry the Cable Guy, Bonnie Hunt. So they're all gonna have grown-up voices. They're recasting Paul Newman.
Yeah, well, he's dead. So, I mean, that is the reason to recast him, right?
I'm hearing this for the first time.
Um,
Finding Nemo, best-selling DVD of all time. It's also, if you look at all the video game platforms of this moment, Game Boy Color, PS2, GameCube, it is like amongst the top 20 highest selling games on all of those platforms. It is just a movie that kind of coincides with like peak mainstream American media, and the tendrils of it all just like rise to the top.
We had the Shark Tale PlayStation 2 game, but not the Nemo.
and what happens in the Shark Tale video game?
There was a level where you could make the Will Smith fish dance to You Can't Touch This.
Yeah.
Sound pretty good.
It was pretty awesome.
Was it like Parappa the Rapper style dancing?
Well,
Like
that
Dance Dance
sounds-
Revolution style
Oh,
dancing?
I'm
Yeah.
watching a full gameplay walkthrough here.
That's the only part I remember, but we didn't have Shark Tale on home video, and we did have Nemo.
Yeah. Kinda everyone had Nemo.
Shark Tale came out, what, a year after Nemo?
Yes.
I just remember it being one of those things where, like, Nemo, which the movie we're going to talk about today, the
Mhm.
water
Eventually.
effects and, like, the way it looks, it's just such a staggeringly good-looking
It
movie.
still
It's-
looks incredible.
I think it's maybe, like, the most beautiful movie
Yes.
Pixar ever made.
Yes.
And then Shark Tale comes out a year later and looks like a fucking, like, PlayStation game.
Yes.
And like the fish designs are horrendous, but all
Yes.
of it looks bad.
But it also, like, there's, like, no water effects.
Right,
There's
none.
no lighting. And you're like, how do they move? And it's like, they sort of just walk upright in the water, not on the ground, not on the ocean floor.
And they have like houses and stuff.
Yes. There's a
At least
thing.
with ants and bug life.
Uh-huh.
Bug life.
Bug life.
Sorry.
Mhm.
I'm amusing myself. Like, they just like look distinctive. They were
Yes.
they were going for different things.
And in fact, you could argue that the DreamWorks one is the more realistic looking
It's
one.
absolutely the more realistic looking one, and it
Ants
kind
ain't
of pulls it
blue.
off.
Yeah.
Ants ain't blue, and ants do not have just two legs, you know, like
right.
in the DreamWorks one, they have 4 legs and 2 arms. It's, you know, whatever. It sort of was okay. And then, like, the comparison wasn't as drastic, I guess, is what I mean.
Sure.
Finding Nemo,
Yes.
Shark Tale, disaster.
I saw a thing Andrew Stanton said that really stuck with me, which he, when they started working on this movie, he was like, the challenge I pose to all of you is I don't want to anthropomorphize these fish. I want to figure out the way for them to be able to convey emotions within the physiology of how they actually work.
That's a good call.
And it's one of these things where you watch this movie and it's like they create this rule for themselves that they hold themselves to. And the movie really doesn't fucking cheat on it. And it makes it all the more impressive how good I think the performances are in this movie. And I speak of the voice acting, which is obviously like, this is just an impeccably cast movie that changes a bunch of fucking careers and shit.
Sure.
But also the actual like character animation performances of the movie are insane.
Who's your favorite?
The bench is so deep.
It's so deep.
Deep.
It's impossible.
I think Brooks is the reason this movie really works, and we'll get into it. Watching it this time, and this is a movie I have seen more times than I can count,
Wow.
I was really, really locking into the Defoe performance, which I think is incredible.
Very good.
Who are your answers?
The
Oh, I was thinking more about-
Stingray teacher.
Oh,
Fucking
yeah.
all day and night. The model of pedagogy. That guy is the best.
Mr.
The
Ray.
way he diffuses
Uh-huh.
various things. There's
There's
nothing to see here. That, and also when Nemo's trying to say and he's like, all right, kid, don't knock yourself out. You know what I mean? Like things like that. So good.
This is, to your point, Becca, though, it's like this movie has like 130 perfectly executed bits.
Yep.
Like any character in this movie that would be kind of just like a functional point A to point B exposition driver or whatever, they give a character game that is so efficient and memorable and charming,
Yeah.
where no one in this movie feels like they're just filling a spot.
The games are clear and distinct, and they're all like, they all feel so satisfying
Yes, that's
to,
the other
to the
thing.
creature that they are.
My other favorite is Allison Janney. I love Peach so much.
But this is what we're talking about, right? Where it's just like, there's a chain of logic that is very satisfying of like, what is the personality of a starfish?
Right.
And you're like, well, if she's in a tank.
She's stuck to the wall. She surveils.
Right.
She's watching.
Right. And then what's the superiority complex she has about that? She basically becomes the know-it-all because her job is to be on watch.
I just love the way
and then
she was-
who's the person who voices that? Well, of course, get like the fucking lady from the West Wing.
Yeah.
That's what her personality would be. Like all of these
Vicki
choices are
Lewis is so good.
satisfying in a chain of logic way.
I love Vicki Lewis.
Everyone's incredible in this.
Is anyone bad?
No. And like Bob Peterson, who you're calling out as Mr. Ray, is one of the Pixar guys.
Oh, I know.
He's
I know.
Roz.
He's my friend.
He is Doug.
Yeah.
He, of course, was the original fired director of The Good Dinosaur, the movie you can't even remember.
Ugh.
The fire direct. Oh, fired.
Fired him.
Okay, right.
Yes.
Because it was Son.
It became a Pete Son picture. But that is the chaos period where suddenly, like, every director is getting fired, every movie's being replaced.
Is Son getting a third? He's doing Incredibles 3.
He's doing Incredibles 3.
A little bit of a step down.
It should be The Next Generation, and it's like Jack's a dad.
That would be pretty funny. Craig T. Nelson's old.
David's laughing.
I'm laughing. I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. It's totally not. It's totally going to be Paddington in Peru, in my
Bird
opinion.
wrote the script.
I know. So that's cool. Like, my guess is it'll be something where I'm like, this resembles what I like about the, all of this.
Yeah.
But it,
It's-
it feels a little
It's
chintzy.
very frustrating.
It's a little frustrating.
Pete Son has made, this will be the third film he directs. We're going to talk a lot about Pixar director careers in this series, a thing I study deeply. But he's directed 3 films. He's one of the kind of Pixar brain trust top story guys who's worked on all these projects. And he himself has voiced so many beloved characters, like Emile in Ratatouille.
Sure.
Socks, who is arguably the only good part of Lightyear.
Socks is fun.
Yeah, definitely the only good part of
Yeah,
Lightyear.
like
Mm.
he's a really, really fun voice
Taika
actor.
Waititi.
Noted.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's there.
Gun to your head, can you name that character?
I just remember that he's riffing on a level that's just sublime.
It is. He does some
No, I
shit
couldn't.
with a pen.
I couldn't
Ugh.
name any fucking character in Lightyear, and it's called Lightyear and stars Buzz Lightyear, and I'm still like, is that character called Buzz Lightyear?
I don't want you to call mental health hotlines on my behalf, but I did the other night fall down a rabbit hole of watching Lightyear videos on YouTube.
Well, it's the movie on
I've seen it a lot.
about the man on which the toy is based.
It's Becca. I'm sorry, but this is not a movie about the toy. This is a movie about the real person, Buzz Lightyear.
the real person on which
Yes,
the toy was based.
Squirt in this movie
is Brad Bird's son,
I was about to say the little baby
Aw.
turtle.
Yeah.
That's Brad Bird's son,
Right.
Nicholas Bird.
who Andrew Stanton heard him speak and was like, "This is our generation's Thumper." Rarely do you find. He might also be the "What are you waiting for?" to do something incredible, I guess, kid in Incredibles, if I'm not mistaken.
Something amazing, I guess.
Yeah. I think that's him as well. This is the cross-pollination of all these things. This is a period of time where Pixar has been super tight and focused.
Right.
Basically one like dream team of people working in all these movies. And for the first time, it's starting to spread out. They're starting to have multiple productions running at the same time. The first 3 movies are all directed by the same very normal man with really normal boundaries who just loves hugging. And Pete Docter and Andrew Stanton were the first 2 people hired.
At Pixar.
Yes.
They have their sort of initial fabled kind of like early what kind of movies could we do meeting, right? Where they like supposedly
We're gonna crack open
All
the
right,
dossier.
yeah, let's crack open the dossier.
Basically, Pixar is originally a computer technology company. They're like, we should have an animation division. Someone should be fucking around with this computer animation thing and seeing if there's any money there. It's, of course, a company started by George Lucas. John Lasseter is fired from Disney, where he was kind of constantly the guy who was next up to maybe direct a feature. The one that comes really close to happening is Where the Wild Things Are.
Mm.
There's an animation test you can see that's really
Oh, yeah.
interesting. Lasseter, like when he saw Tron, was just like, this is the future. There's some future in combining these things, which Disney ends up obviously doing with like Beauty and the Beast and Lion King with their big set piece sequences using CGI backgrounds. Where the Wild Things Are was supposed to be that. He also develops Brave Little Toaster, which is taken away from him.
Kind
Which
of a cool
feels
movie.
very spiritually Pixar.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's a movie with Pixar juice, even if it's right. Like kind of cheap and light on
And
execution.
Toy Story definitely feels like a refinement of everything he was starting to noodle with. But he gets fired. He goes to this computer conference. I think it's SIGGRAPH.
Yeah.
He makes the play. They hire him to be the animation guy. He's one dude noodling. And when they finally go, like, we have some extra budget to see if there's more that can be built here, who would you want to hire? He goes to his 2 CalArts classmates, Pete Docter, who becomes the first person other than Lasseter to direct a
directed,
Pixar movie, Monsters Inc.
Inc.
And then Andrew Stanton's the second. That's sort of the next phase, is the anointment of, you guys get to make your own movies.
This is true.
Mhm.
And yeah, they were pretty good. Before I open the dossier, Becca, your experience with Finding Nemo, you're slightly younger than me. Did you see this in theaters?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I feel like everyone I've spoken to really remembers seeing it in theaters as well. I would have been 9, and I think I loved it, but it was also a time when, like, every year of my life, like, one new landmark animated movie would come out that felt like it was just a constant heightening, because it was sort of like tail end of Disney Renaissance
Yeah.
and the early Pixars, and throw Shrek into the mix. Throw, as a kid, it
Sure.
was huge, Ice Age into the
Yes,
mix.
yes.
Like,
Yeah.
every year there was a new animated movie that felt like the biggest thing in the world.
You have basically concurrent with the decline of Disney feature animation, you have 3 new animation studios rising, and it's still basically only like 2 or 3 animated movies a year.
Yeah, and they
It
were
is
all
so different than the current landscape where we're just inundated with shit.
Yeah, and they were, like, really trying shit, like, in a quality, like, way to one up each other. So even though I didn't see Anastasia, I was too young when it came out, like, that was a really important VHS tape.
But
Things
Anastasia,
like from random
yes.
third studios joining the mix.
I was going to say, Anastasia is part of the kind of like 90s rush, and there's the 80s rush as well, of like, Don Bluth has left. Other studios are trying to see Disney's weak. Is there a chance to dethrone Disney and be the default animation studio? And then when Disney rises again, it's even more of a feeding frenzy of, Jesus Christ, they're making so much money. We should be in this business. But you look at those movies in the 80s and 90s, and it's primarily either feature-length adaptations of TV shows,
Mhm.
which are sort of their own thing and are often junkier and lower budget, right? Or it's other studios trying to figure out how to crack the Disney playbook. Anastasia is very much, can we do the Disney thing?
Mhm.
When Toy Story comes out, it's like this absolute lightning bolt of like, wait a second, is there actually not a one kind of formula pattern for what an American animated movie can be, while being seen as like A-level, highbrow? And then I think DreamWorks and Blue Sky, these other studios are all going like, fuck, is there a chance to like define what your own thing is? There's new visual styles, possibly. There are new storytelling styles. There are new styles of humor. Suddenly these things don't have to be musicals. They don't have to be based on fairy tales.
Plus, there's some stop motion entering the
Absolutely.
mix.
Yep.
I'll also say, like, even though I was like becoming aware of movies during the era that some people see as the decline of the Renaissance,
Sure.
because
like
of
late
when they
90s
came
or
out
whatever.
and
Right.
the age out, like, Tarzan is still maybe my favorite.
Right. This is
modern
something
Disney movie.
that, as I like am in media and whatever. I mean, I know people who are a little younger than me, and I'm like, right, Tarzan, like, I saw that in theaters, but by then I was like, the juice is out of this. I mean, Emma Stefanski in our Treasure Planet episode,
Yes.
great, where I
Right.
was like, right, I didn't even see this shit, and she's like, when I saw this, I assumed it was the biggest hit of all time. Like,
Yeah.
it was just a giant movie for
The
us.
difference is Tarzan was a huge hit.
Tarzan was a huge hit,
Tarzan, like,
but to me was just
And
like
Tarzan
okay.
rips.
massive soundtrack.
I mean, you'll be in my heart.
Right.
Phil Collins.
Yeah, I don't mind Tarzan.
Mm,
I've seen it
my-
since.
my
He's got the invisible touch.
My personal
Sure.
bias aside,
Uh-huh.
Tarzan is like very well reviewed, right? It was
definitely a
it's
hit.
a massive hit.
Yes.
The soundtrack is really like culturally important, but 5 or 6 months later,
Really culturally important.
Yes.
at the time it was fucking humongous. We've gotten criticized for being like the Tarzan
I'm
soundtrack
pumping the
obviously
brakes.
sucks.
I'm pumping the
No,
brakes. I
you'll
don't think it sucks. I
No.
just don't think it was cultural.
It's
It was
adult
not like a
contemporary.
Lion King level
It was-
earwormy.
It
no.
was the second closest they had ever gotten to that.
I disagree.
And You'll
I
Be in
think
My
that's a
Heart
fact.
was their last sort of like credits adult
yes,
contemporary
thank you.
hit
Yes,
song of
yes.
the 90s. They closed out.
I don't care that much for Tarzan, but I just think these are objective facts.
I think the tree surfing and the vine swinging looks awesome.
This
But I
is
mean, like,
this is my bigger point. Is like
Mhm.
big hit, totally works. There is this sense of like, is Disney back? Have they saved themselves? 5 months later, Toy Story 2 comes out, and it
Yeah.
feels like the takeaway from everyone is like, Tarzan's the end of an era, and this is the future.
Mhm.
Right.
We all had fun with Tarzan,
Right.
but like we're moving past this.
Yeah,
And
the,
then in-
the formula, it's no good anymore, right?
In
you
the
know?
2000s, Lilo and Stitch is the only Disney feature theatrical animated movie that I would say unequivocally works. That is the only one.
I know. I
Well,
think Emperor's New
Princess and the
Groove.
Frog, is that a
I'm
9?
saying financially, critically, and test of time.
Okay.
Emperor's
I
New
don't know.
Oh,
Groove
yeah.
was a disappointment at the time.
I guess so.
It was, at the box
sure,
office.
Financially, it was a little.
You've heard about what they're building. They're
What?
building an Yzma coaster
What?
in
what?
Villainland.
What?
They're doing a pull the lever
What?
because they've downgraded from it was going to be a Maleficent
what is-
Yeah,
water
that's what I
ride
heard.
thing.
What
And I
is
think
Villain Land?
Here's a fun game. David, what
Well,
do you
Washington,
think Villainland is?
DC.
From saying what Becca just said, from hearing her say that.
So it's because I'm like really bad at this. So, is it just in Walt Disney World or is it in both?
It would only be in World for now.
Because World's larger.
Yes.
There's more space for stuff.
That's Orlando.
And I know World has
It's made up of multiple parts.
right. So I know there's like Epcot and Animal Kingdom and all
Okay.
these.
You name two. Can you name the other two?
Is there one that's just kind of like main Disney?
yeah.
Yes.
Could you think of what it's called?
What would your guess
Is
be for
Disney World? No, I have no idea.
Magic
Kingdom.
Kingdom.
Yes, I did know it. I
Yep.
did know it.
Uh-huh.
And then is like Star Wars World its own thing, or is that
It's
within one of
part
the
of-
worlds?
Section.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
See, this is where they get me.
Think of the movies.
The movies.
Now the problem is this land has changed names many times.
Okay. Give me another hint.
It was called Disney MGM Studios.
Uh-huh.
It is now Disney Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, I would have
Okay,
accepted.
but it's like the
I would have
studios
accepted
one.
MGM.
Right.
Okay,
So that is
okay.
them competing with,
with
Universal.
Studios. I get
Right.
that. Is there
Epcot was-
another one?
Epcot was Walt's Dying
There's two
Way.
Yeah, I
water
know about
parks.
Epcot.
And Animal Kingdom was them competing with SeaWorld and Busch
Zoos,
Gardens.
right?
and
All that
zoos
shit.
and-
Yeah.
right,
Okay.
Those are the four in Orlando. There's the fucking water parks that I think, Becca, we're on the same page. Don't fucking count. That's not a proper
So,
game.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I still
guess
haven't ever been.
the
But
Villain World is in the Magic Kingdom.
Correct.
yeah, it will
Fuck.
be.
Now, why are
got
they
it.
why are they doing that?
Villains are popular. The Descendants. Oh no. That's
What are
not
they
it's
Think
called.
competing with?
movies again.
What are they competing with?
The Dark Universe, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No,
Dark
truly.
Universe.
Really?
Is that Universal opened their
Right.
new
They've
park
got,
in
like, their
Orlando
monster
where they
stuff.
reclaimed the name Dark Universe and applied it to Monster Theme Park. And so now Disney's like, fuck, they have a cool scary thing. We need a cool scary thing. Villain Land. Now, all the rumors had been it was going to be built around Maleficent
Uh-huh.
as the centering force.
And they are sort of realizing like maybe Maleficent's like kind of old news.
Oh no, they
right?
still are doing
Isn't that why they were thinking of
the
making
Maleficent water
a
ride.
third Maleficent movie? Like they're always
Maybe.
claiming they're going to do that.
I mean,
like,
that's part of why Tron Ares happened, because they also had spent hundreds of millions of dollars building a Tron roller coaster.
Yeah.
And they wanted object permanence for that franchise. But interesting. So Yzma would be its own ride. It's not replacing Maleficent?
Yeah, it's not replacing Maleficent. But this was announced after the first announcement, and I think there were conversations about them actually scaling back the scary on Maleficent.
This is the thing. Disney's a little cowardly about getting too scary.
Uh-huh,
Yzma's
right,
more
right.
funny than scary. Does she give
Yeah.
them an easy out?
right. Like, but then it's just like, why are you
And they
doing
love
it? And I
giving
love
Patrick
Yzma.
Warburton something to do.
Sure. I'm
Emperor's-
looking up Villain Land.
Emperor's New Groove is a masterpiece, but it was not a major hit.
Yeah, it was a minor hit at best.
And
Right,
it
yeah, I
was
hear
not
you,
really
right.
appreciated at the time.
Yeah, and then I mean, obviously,
You're like Treasure Planet and Atlantis are just like complete belly flops for them.
Yeah,
Home on the Range is the last hand drawn.
And then you got,
Lilo and Stitch is the one upswing there, and it's the
Yeah.
movie that
And-
basically sneaks through the cracks.
Right.
And then that first CGI run's a disaster.
right.
It's-
And then you have Princess and the Frog at the end, where it's like did pretty good.
Yeah.
People liked it, but maybe even that underwhelmed.
And
or
had the pressure on it of, can this bring back the Disney princess movie and hand drawn? It does okay, but it does well. But the next year Tangled comes out, and once again, it's like, this is the future. Here's our model. This is what we're doing. We've redefined what our sort of Disney animated movie format is.
But
So that leaves the floor open for Pixar, DreamWorks, and Blue Sky.
to invent a new thing.
And to really be like, right, it's all open game. And what Andrew Stanton talks about
Yes.
is
Yes.
feeling like Toy Story, Monsters, Inc., and Bugs Life all shared a similar vibe. The first three, obviously, a lot of that's that they're directed by
Same huggy guy.
Lotso.
Lotso, Hug and Lasseter. But also that it's the one core team working on every movie. Pixar basically at this point only has enough employees to be focused on one movie at a time.
Yeah.
And when Lasseter goes, Doctor, you get a movie, Stanton, you get a movie, they start expanding the crew and they're splitting up who's getting Peterson,
Said that to
who's
his
getting Joe
doctor.
Ranft, who's getting Pete Sohn, all these story guys. He said that to his doctor?
He was like, "Doctor, you get a movie." The doctor was like, "I think you should give it to one
The
of your
Doctor I
employees."
Am
Doctor.
movie.
That'd be good. Why wasn't Dr. Mario in Super Mario Galaxy? I was sure that was
I
gonna
sent you a
happen.
video, the theory that Dr. Mario is legally classified within Nintendo's copyrights as his own character and not Mario himself.
So it would have to be like Mario has a cousin who's a doctor.
This is the
Ah,
way.
yeah.
That's what
Dr.
the dad should
Mario.
be
Right.
disappointed about.
That would be funny.
Why aren't you
Why
a
can't you
doctor
be like
your
Dr. Mario?
cousin?
He's got so many pills.
I sent
of
you
all colors.
I sent you this TikTok video
saw
that
the
someone
video.
pointed out in the first Super Mario movie. There was an empty seat at the family dinner table where Mario's dad's like, I don't respect you being a plumber. And there's like
right.
a little nephew there whose
Right.
dad is missing. And the implication is maybe, does he hate his plumber son so much because his other
right.
son?
He's a successful medical student.
And if
or
Mario's
whatever.
the last name, then his name might be Dr. like William Mario.
This is the thing.
GP.
Now every animated movie and kids movie in a bad way is
Mhm.
about like weird dad angst.
Yup.
But this is really groundbreaking and genius about weird dad angst.
This movie is made by a dad working through his things versus I think a lot of animated movies and specifically Illumination films, and who knows why this is the case,
right.
feel very
They've
driven
been
by
told to be about this. Yes.
well, and also people who cannot get over my dad doesn't respect what I do for a living, which is a little limited as a story, as an emotional arc, unless you're digging really deep. Finding Nemo feels like it comes out of a very honest place, and I also think all these early Pixar movies are really defined by these guys as young fathers. You know, overgrown children, people who went into the field of animation, suddenly crossing this line of like, I have a kid, and now I'm kind of like dealing with existential terror of like, wait a second, I have to be a grown up. How do I raise kids properly? What do I feel about how I was raised? What is the world I want them to live in? And also, they're in this insane industry working on these movies that are so intense, that take so long, and they're all kind of fighting this like concern of, am I not spending enough time with my family?
Sure. Right.
Yes.
And it makes sense. All these workaholics, like, yeah.
To give joy to all the children of the world, they must miss their own child's dance recital.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Soccer practice. So, Andrew Stanton, I'm opening the dossier.
Please do.
Born December 1965 in Massachusetts. Heard of it?
Yeah. He has a couple voices in this movie, but one of them is
the Lobsters.
the Boston
There
Lobsters.
you go.
He
Born
does
in
that accent well.
Wellesley.
Uh-huh.
Moved to Rockport because apparently his dad was sort of like, Wellesley's too sort of fancy. I don't
Okay.
like how like rich and white it is here. His father, Ron Stanton, was an MIT graduate, founded a company called Highcore, which the New Yorker says did confidential radar work for the Department of Defense.
Cool.
Andrew says that Ron was a classic authoritarian figure, away from home a lot, kind of tight-lipped. Gloria, the mom, puts it this way. When Andrew had done something wrong, his father never needed to say anything. He'd just come and stand in Andrew's room silently, and Andrew would tell him everything. Ooh, so scary.
I mean, to what we were just
Whereas
saying.
Gloria is a fun mom. She was an actress who gave up acting to have a family, and she loved, to entertain and be fun.
All of this makes a ton of sense.
Yeah,
But
he lives at the intersection of weapons tech and acting and fun.
Right.
That
But-
sort of Pixar is right in the middle.
To your point, Becca,
right.
what a relief that the movies aren't about this.
Yeah,
All
about
of
like
this
my
totally-
parents. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. My dad doesn't respect me being a plumber.
So Gloria, this is all from like a New Yorker profile of him. I think for Wally is when they did this.
There's also an incredible New Yorker profile when John Carter comes out that we will talk about
maybe it's
extensively
for John
in that
Carter
episode.
because it's 2011.
It's,
maybe
it's
for-
right at the fulcrum point of
Yeah, I think it's for John Carter.
what's going to happen when this movie's released.
So his dad introduced him to science fiction, including the John Carter novels. He was a rocket scientist. He had pulp sci-fi novels throughout the house. He dragged him to like every single sci-fi movie. It's not, the culture stuff isn't just coming from the mom. Stanton said basically he was a precocious little boy with like undiagnosed ADD who just like wasn't quite like a child prodigy, but was clearly like very energetic and creative and like doing lots of stuff kind of like without much encouragement. He would make little skits with a Super 8 camera. He had a show he did with his friends called The Silly Show. Sounds pretty good.
When you watch all the vintage Pixar special features, because they were really at the forefront of DVD bonus material and showing so much of, with every release, like, here's more about like how Pixar works and pulling back the curtain, not just on the technical
Which
process.
is so classic Walt. That's so wonderful world of Disney.
This is part of why Lasseter gets pushed into the is he the new Uncle Walt position. But you watch those things, and I'm just going to say this. Andrew Stanton is charismatic in a way that none of those other guys are.
That's interesting.
Andrew Stanton
He's got
is
a little
like,
more like personality.
He is just clearly like more of a people person versus like Lasseter had always felt was kind of doing an impression of an Uncle Walt.
Yes.
And Pete Docter, by his own admission, is a pretty introverted guy.
Right. He seems like a pretty reserved
He's a kind of classic
nerdy
animator.
Right.
I want to just like draw a thing and slide it over to you rather than talk. And Andrew Stanton, I think, did a fair amount of like school acting and such when he was growing up, which I also think comes across in his movies.
The Silly Show.
And The Silly Show. That he's a little bit more of a performer.
He went to University of Hartford for 1 year, but then transferred to Cal Arts. Griffin's alum.
I dropped out, but yes.
So obviously he's part of the sort of legendary program there.
A113.
That you just, invoked earlier.
But also,
and his
I mean, that
friends.
classroom, that era is also like, I believe, Steven Hillenburg, who creates Spongebob.
Love that guy.
Brad Bird is there with them at that same time, even though he comes to Pixar later. I mean, it's like 10 people in that year who went on to make an outsized cultural impact in animation.
He had been dating his now wife, Julie, basically since he was 15 years old. She went to Georgetown. They got married right after they graduated, basically, settled in Los Angeles. Stanton worked on a sex education film starring Martin Short for Croyer Films, animated The Sperm.
Is this the journey of me?
Is this coming all the way back around to Look Who's Talking?
I think so. I believe there's an attraction that at one point was part of Epcot called The Journey of Me.
The Making of Me.
There we go.
I've seen this.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a sex education short that played in the sort
Makes
of
sense.
the wonders
The timing
of the
lines
human
up.
body part of Epcot.
Yeah, it was Wonders of Life Pavilion. Fair enough. Like many Cal Arts students, he wanted to work at Disney. He was rejected 3 times. But then he meets John Lasseter, and he had, I guess, some student films. I had these student films that were luckily entertaining enough that they showed some at festivals that also had like Luxo and Tin Toy, the early Lasseter shorts playing at them, and they kind of hit it off. My favorite's the bicycle one. Red's Dream.
Red's Dream.
Always
Yes.
liked that one.
Yeah.
Stan's a freaky clown.
Stan's stuff is really funny too.
Yeah.
He also, I mean, time might be off in this, but I know he worked on the Ralph Bakshi Mighty Mouse cartoon.
Yeah, I mean the sex ed thing was
Yeah.
I think also Bakshi Studios or
Yes.
maybe I can't
Right.
remember. But yeah,
It's
Mighty
so
Mouse:
funny
The New
to think
Adventures.
of Bakshi making something for like Epcot goers.
Right.
This is this weird era where Bakshi's like trying to play a little more mainstream, but all the stuff he makes is just kind of subtly off and weird. Not that I think he's trying to be transgressive, but that he can't be normal.
There's something inherently degenerate, like
Right.
coursing through
That
what he
Mighty
does.
Mouse cartoon is like that and is fascinating. I highly recommend looking it up. But
Fair enough.
Stanton, I think, had writing credits on the whole season and was pretty involved in that. Yeah.
Can you watch the shorts? Are those available?
They must be somewhere, but Mighty Mouse is one of those things where I could not even tell you who has the rights. I'm like, are the Mighty Mouse rights owned by like Crest toothpaste through some weird conglomerations?
So he is hired as Pixar's second ever animator.
Yeah.
Obviously, Pixar has been taken under the wing of Steve Jobs at that point. Andrew, happy-go-lucky, they say. Relied on humor to get by. He works on Toy Story, obviously. That's his first Oscar nomination. He's one of the many credited writers of Toy Story.
So let me just unpack this a little bit. Because I think he's, as I said, he's a very charismatic guy. He's very sociable. There's a story I'll tell later in this episode that's kind of a thing that makes him as a filmmaker. But he is an incredibly anxious, somewhat cynical person. He talks about like the constant battle between those two forces within himself.
Yeah.
and trying to probably the battle between like his mom and his dad, being someone who is avuncular and outgoing and sociable, but is constantly kind of like wrestling with these concerns inside of his head.
Right.
Everyone at Pixar says that like Woody is him.
That's interesting. He says, Stanton, he says he's Sid. I can read you the
Whoa.
quote.
So Ben,
He came up with the character. He
Yes.
was the guy who wrote Sid, essentially.
right, and that Sid is the reflection of what he was like as a teenager,
He liked to break his toys and then like remake them into new things.
right, as
Yes.
creative projects.
Right.
Which is back to this point I'm making of like, Sid doesn't know he's a fucking villain in Toy Story. Andrew Stanton's always said this. He's like, Sid's a creative kid who just hasn't gotten to art school yet. He doesn't have an outlet, The kind of like myth making here is within Pixar, they're sort of like, I guess we need to bring in an outside screenwriter, a Hollywood screenwriter. A number of people take passes at Toy Story in years of development, including similarly normal person Joss Whedon. One of the fake Coens, it's not Etan Cohen, but maybe it's the other Joel Cohen spelt differently.
Fine.
There were like 4 or 5 credited screenwriters on Toy Story who are mostly
Joel Cohen.
There
with
we
an
go.
H, yes. Yeah.
mostly other kind of like Hollywood spec script punch up rewrite guys. And they kept having people come in, they'd pay them to work on the script for like a couple months. They'd fix a couple things, but other things wouldn't be fixed. They had never really solved it. Disney wasn't giving them more budget. And the sort of like myth making part of this is that Andrew Stanton goes like, can I just like try and see if I can do a pass? And Stanton sort of holes away with the script and is the guy who like finally fixes everything and cracks everything
Right.
and makes it cohesive. And Pixar realizes like, oh fuck, we have a screenwriter here. We have a guy in-house who knows how to do this stuff. Especially after the infamous Black Friday screening,
Sure.
where there was the very dark, very cynical version of the movie after
Right, where Woody was like an asshole originally.
yes, Katzenberg had kept saying like, I think there's a future with edgier, funnier, darker, more adult animated movies.
And little did he know.
He basically gets there with Shrek. Shrek is what he always wanted to make,
Mhm.
but he kept
That's so
pushing
awesome.
Pixar past their natural instincts. And so there's the screening they show of the story reels right before it goes to animation. That's like a disaster where Disney's going to pull the plug on the movie because they're like, this lead character is like a complete asshole. This movie is just unpleasant to watch. And they beg for 3 days to rework the film. And I think Stanton does a lot of the story heavy lifting. And they do the just like, fuck it. Let's get back to the exact movie we want to make. They greenlight that conditionally. And the film ends up happening as it is. But there is this kind of like, Stanton's attitude mirrors Woody very much of constantly being frustrated, but wanting to put forward the face of like, I got this under control.
Right.
I'm looking out for all of you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So Jim Morris says he's the best sort of genius for story structure.
Yes.
That's one Pixar guy. Michael Arndt, that guy,
Yes.
says that he's kind of good at being harsh in a story. Like he'll say the thing that's not working or whatever. Like he's more blunt.
I saw him say in an interview that was a big thing from Steve Jobs, who, in this era is still very hands-on with Pixar, that he was just like, people would get really turned off by how blunt Steve Jobs was, but he was just kind of ruthless in identifying what is the problem and what is the thing that needs to get done.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of the other credits before Nemo, obviously, he's also a co-director and writer on Bug's Life.
Yeah.
He's also the voice of Bug Zapper Bug 1 and Singing Grasshopper 2.
Uh-huh. In the Disney parks, there is an attraction that is now closed called Tough to Be a Bug that took place inside the tree in Animal Kingdom and had a giant animatronic hopper that they didn't need to remove when Kevin Spacey got canceled because Kevin Spacey refused to do the record and Andrew Stanton
that
did it
coward.
instead. Andrew Stanton does a weirdly good Kevin Spacey
And that was
impression.
already one of the scariest things in Disney parks
Yes.
without Kevin even doing the voice.
True.
Right.
And it has been replaced by a horrible Zootopia attraction.
Right.
Interesting.
Tough to be an animal.
He's
but-
the voice. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say co-director in animation can mean a number of different things. Sometimes it means that 2 people are directing a film equally. In this era of Pixar, it's sort of the junior director thing. Lasseter taking him on as co-director for A Bug's Life was sort of to train him to be able to make his own film. but he is by all accounts kind of the main screenwriter of A Bug's Life.
Mhm.
And also, when Toy Story 2 is saved from direct-to-video and reworked, he is the guy who does that. So across those first 3 movies, he is like the main writer guy.
Right.
Yeah.
So Toy Story 2's got the credit. Of course, he's the voice of Ham in Buzz Lightyear, Star Command: The Adventure Begins. Can't say I knew that.
Yeah, that's just in the opening. This is the thing. He's a really good performer,
Sure.
and he would often do sound-alike voices for when the stars didn't want to come
wanna
do
do that.
something like a ride or a commercial or whatever it is. He is the voice of Zurg canonically in Toy Story 2.
He is.
That
He
is
is the
him.
voice
He's
of
the
Zurg.
real Zurg voice, obviously with a bunch of modulators on him.
So, Finding Nemo's been swimming around in his head. Interesting use of words there.
Mhm.
So about fish. Since Toy Story, he says. He'd always wanted to do the ocean. He was fixated on a child in his dentist's water fish tank, which was
When he
embedded
was
in
a
a wall.
child, he would
when
look
was
at
a
the fish
child,
tank. Yeah.
which was a weird way to see humans. What's the movie about? What makes me care? He says he's in a walk with his 5-year-old son Ben, and he has the terrible anxiety that he realized that his terrible anxiety was making him a bad father. Like that he
Yes.
kept being like, careful, like.
That he was like pulling him from running into the street and all
Yes.
the sort of things, and he went
I mean,
like,
you should do that.
yeah, but it was the intensity of his worry that he felt, right? And he was like, here's my day. I have a day alone with my son, and I'm gonna have no good lasting memories of this because I spent the entire day concerned about everything he was doing
Right.
and not actually connecting to him. And that's the real like germ of the idea. I want to make a movie about that.
He also had seen an early cut of Lion King
Mhm.
and apparently remembers just slamming on it. Says like sort of shows what I know. He hated the idea of the sort of circle of life of like, oh, we're all just part of this grand chain and we're all, it's all helpful. He likes the Bambi idea of like, it's a real scary predatory world. And
Yeah.
he's like, Nemo is set in the Bambi world.
This is another thing that I really give him specifically credit for changing in the language of American movies, because I really think it starts with Toy Story.
Mm.
Animated movies in which characters talk like grown-ups,
Right.
where you're not dealing with kind of like mythical, representational voices of reason, cosmic evils. And so much of the comedy in this movie is just that it's funny that 2 fishes are talking in this casual a way and that they're so recognizable as personality types. But I think, right, he's speaking to a very specific human anxiety rather than kind of like a larger just so stories type of lesson.
Yeah, without tipping too far into the like Shark Tale, like, hey, I'm swimming here, which I'm just gonna
Right.
guess they say.
Right.
If they don't say that, it missed opportunity.
But
Ackerman fucked
they
up.
do sound like grown-ups, but and not in that DreamWorks way, which
Right.
is a different thing.
Yes, I think it's that the DreamWorks movies start really iterating on other things in pop culture
hmm
in a kind of postmodern, metatextual, self-referential kind of way. And what Stan sort of identifies is like an audience will laugh if a character suddenly reminds you of a type of person you know. Not an archetype in sitcoms, but like a type of person with a specificity.
So Finding Nemo, he settles on clownfish because he sees like a coffee table book and finds them arresting. I mean, it's obvious, like it's a great idea.
He saw a picture of 2 clownfish coming out of an anemone, and it
Like
looked like they were
peekaboo.
sort of hiding. And he
Yeah.
was like, and it looks like a parent and a child.
He presents an hour-long pitch to Lassiter.
Mhm.
Lassiter is a longtime scuba diver because
Mhm.
he was hugging the fish down there too.
Unfortunately.
And Lassiter says, "You had me at fish."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "How about a hug?" Okay.
The other part of that story is
Bring it in, buddy. Anyone else want to join?
Stanton the Worrywart planned an hour-long pitch that involved him doing all the voices and
Right,
sound
right,
effects, and
right,
he had
right.
audio cues and
Lassiter's like, "Fish, that's a great idea.
we can sell fish.
Yeah, right.
Truly,
They're
right?
colorful."
Right.
We also can't stress enough how big Spongebob was at the time.
And
That's true.
as one of their
Everyone
classmates.
loved underwater.
But
We
this
were
is-
underwater crazy.
Let's call out though, it's a little bit of parallel thinking. Like SpongeBob premieres in 99. There's 4
yeah.
years in between.
Yeah.
But the lead time on animation is
This
because
is around 2000, I think, when this movie goes into production. Yeah.
SpongeBob was immediately a hit, like right out of the box. I think that was a little bit of them getting lucky with timing. Another thing, I think I saw Jim Morris say this, that was unique about this movie is so often they would come up with a big idea at Pixar and then they would all sort of brainstorm together, and then they'd hire an outside screenwriter, or 3 or 4 people would noodle on it, and they'd keep iterating and adding things to it until they finally got to something vaguely resembling a script. Stanton literally just sat down and wrote a script for this one.
Right.
It is like right after A Bug's
It's
Life.
different from the prior. Yeah, I know there's other people now, like other people credited and all that, but
Yeah.
he had a screenplay.
But in a kind of complete vision way, it gets changed in regards, but
Right.
it was a like, here's the arc of my story, here's what it's about, here are the major beats,
However,
beginning to end.
the
Yes.
problem was the tank story.
Mhm.
Like he had the Search for Nemo stuff, I think, much more set,
Mhm.
but the tank story kept derailing the narrative, is how the other Pixar guys put it in the sort of initial pitch.
Right. How does that not feel like you're cutting away to an inactive thing?
Exactly, right. The original script, also, the loss of Marlon's wife was communicated with brief flashbacks interspersed through the film, and only in the third, we talked about this on this podcast before, only in the third act do you see that it was like this barracuda attack.
Allow me to
whatever.
restate this.
Please
though,
do
'cause
it
this
now,
is-
because it's like basically like audiences were like, "What the fuck?" Right? Like,
I
why is
think
he
it is-
so stressed
It is
out?
the most important thing in Andrew
Right.
Stanton's career, and it swings back in a different way in John Carter in a way we need to talk about. So this is the
Right.
thing that needs to be established. He, as a guy who now, in the time between Toy Story and Finding Nemo, has gotten really serious about screenwriting and read the books and studied other movies and really tried to understand screenwriting as an art form, was obsessed with movies that are able to do this as a storytelling device. Isn't that fun when a movie can kind of slowly tease out information and backfill it in multiple flashbacks? And so that was the shape he conceived in his head of the movie starts with Nemo waking Marlin up, his first day of school, and yada, yada, yada. And across the film, you start to get these flashbacks until you finally at the end realize, oh, his wife was killed by a barracuda. All the other eggs were destroyed. Nemo's the only son he has left.
Right.
And they would play the story reels for audiences, which are basically, it's usually, sometimes it's Pixar animators, sometimes it's the final cast actors and the voices, lightly animated storyboards, usually with temp music,
Right.
just so before they do the expensive part of actually starting animation, they can feel the flow of the movie. And they play it, and people are just like, we hate Marlin. He sucks.
Yeah.
This guy drives me crazy. And by the time they explain why he has this level of neuroses, it's too late. The audience isn't on board.
Right.
And he keeps trying to crack it, and he can't. And then he's just finally like, what if I just put all this stuff at the top?
Yeah. And it makes sense.
I just do it.
It's also really helpful for me because I can just not watch that with my daughter. Just skip right past it.
But as you said, he was like, everyone was concerned that's too scary. You can't front load it in a movie. And he said, like, that's Bambi. Bambi exists and Bambi survives as a beloved film.
Right.
I think you need to like look the scary thing in the eye. And the second he did that, the movie worked. The other thing that happens is
Dory. I don't know if you know if that's what you were going to say, but to him, it's Dory. What are you going to say?
there was a different actor cast.
Well, we'll get to that. Let's
Okay.
get to that. Okay.
Okay.
The other thing for him is Dory.
But I just want to say he has a TED Talk around the time of John Carter where he shares the storytelling lesson he learned there of not trying to out-clever yourself as a storyteller, that it's important for audiences to have the emotional information they need to understand what's going on with the characters.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And
right.
and
Just present
very
it to them.
often, if you try to be smart or stylish in your sort of devices, you actually it's
You're
cutting your nose.
alienating the audience.
Correct.
Yeah, you could just as easily, because with this, from the very beginning, you're like, Marlin has suffered.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
you're rooting
It's
for
an
him.
incredibly devastating thing, and you understand. It works perfectly.
It is so
Elizabeth Perkins crushing
efficient.
it.
That's the
as
other
a-
thing. Like Elizabeth
good
Perkins is
performance.
great. Within 30 seconds, you understand the dynamic of their marriage. A scary thing happens. You see his anxiety. Like it's just
And it also introduces you to, like, in Finding Nemo and in the ocean, it's like danger at every turn. These fishes' lives are
Yes.
very precarious. Like, we're
Yes.
going to encounter a lot of scary creatures.
there are actual stakes from the beginning. It's not just that this kid is lost. It's like the mother dies, as do hundreds of eggs.
At least hundreds of fish every day die in the ocean.
Dory, to him, kind of takes the film to another level. She bridges the two main characters. He was inspired by the structure of the novel Cold Mountain for this.
So Dory's the Renee Zellweger
That's
character.
what I assume he means by that. David Reynolds, who's a Conan writer
Mhm.
and had worked on other Pixar movies, and Bob Peterson,
Mhm.
who
Mr. Ray.
who hadn't written a movie for Pixar yet,
But it's one
in
of
the
their main
mix.
story guys.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
those are the other credited screenwriters. William H. Macy first cast as Marlin.
Yes.
They wanted someone with a lighter touch. Is the cited reason?
As Stan has always
but this
put
is
it-
never revealed until there's like a Pixar book that reveals it, right?
So
Like,
Stan always talked about the fact that they had originally cast a dramatic actor and it felt like it made the movie too heavy. He cast a guy who was funny but comes from a dramatic background, and that he felt like he was playing the anxiety too real and too weighty, and it fought the comedy of the movie. And he always kind of, in a gentlemanly way, never named who the actor was, but then said when we brought in Albert Brooks, he didn't need to play anxiety. That's his natural state, and he could riff all these jokes on top of it, and it worked. The book, The Pixar Touch,
yes,
is the one
book,
that
right.
finally puts William H. Macy as the name. It's never really been verified, but it's basically been commonly accepted that's who it was. It makes a lot of sense to be like, Andrew Stanton thinks, well, wouldn't like William H. Macy's character from Fargo
right.
in an animated movie be the correct version of this? But that's a very dark movie where you kind of want to watch that guy suffer.
Totally. Albert Brooks was making The In-Laws.
Comes
Did a
out the
bunch
same
of sessions
summer.
around The In-Laws,
Yes.
essentially. He said he did 11 sessions of 4 hours each. That's all he had to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like that much to me.
The other thing he said is that he basically would never read what was written on the page, but then would improvise for like 20 minutes.
He's really good.
He's like, you can't get him to say the same thing twice. He doesn't want to do line readings.
right.
But he, because he's a writer and a filmmaker in his own right, would look and be like, what's the thing that needs to be conveyed in terms of story information in this line of dialogue? And then now I will give you 20 iterations of the funniest ways that could happen.
Okay.
He's a really funny guy.
And good governor.
Yes.
And a good, what's he becoming? Secretary of Labor or Commerce or something?
In the country in which he was born and raised.
We assume.
Yeah. What if he's a dirty Rusky?
Yeah, right.
What if that was cut out of
I
Ellen
don't see he's
McKay?
becoming president. He could be like Canadian or something. A
dirty
Canadian's in the room with us right now.
A Canadian's in the room with us
Hi,
right
Becca.
now.
Hi.
Okay. Brooks comes up with the clown thing.
Mhm.
He comes up with the joke, like that he can't do jokes.
Yeah.
That was Brooks's idea.
Right.
Stanton's watching Ellen, the sitcom
Yes,
Ellen.
yes.
Much better than the talk show Ellen.
Late 90s. Yeah.
And she kind of, the Ellen delivery thing of like she changes her mind 5 times
He said
into
he
a
saw
sentence.
one line where
Right.
she changed the topic 7 times and turned to his wife and said, I think that story. Now, Dory was written to be male.
Right.
And speaking of this kind of like Andrew Stanton coming in and saying, how do we break the mold of what a Pixar movie is a little bit, right? That he felt like Toy Story, the 2 Toy Stories and Monsters Inc. were all buddy pictures, all
Right.
had Randy Newman scores, all had a kind of similar design language, sense of humor, and that he really felt like we need to start stretching out what these movies can be so it doesn't start to become formulaic.
Right.
And I think there's a way in which you can see Finding Nemo as a buddy picture because it is Dory and Nemo on this journey together, but the nature of Dory as a character prevents it from feeling like that.
I think they're going on a sort of buddy journey, and I think it's like one of my favorite things about the movie, especially in the context of what Pixar was before, is I love when the goofy one, funny one, stupid one is a girl.
Yeah.
I think that was really missing in a lot of kids' entertainment as the time.
Because
At the time,
it was seen as like retrograde at some point, or like, and they stopped doing
it
it.
was just
That
like
girls need to be like perfect love interests.
yeah, for the
Right,
girl
right,
to
right,
be
right,
the
right.
hilarious
Yes.
comic relief, silly, stupid one.
Yeah.
Is so awesome. And I still love that when that happens in like an ensemble sitcom or something like today, because it still is semi-rare. And so Dory, I think, is like huge.
I give him
Yeah.
super credit for just being like, oh, Ellen would work for this, even if it is not how I conceived this. Obviously,
Right.
it's Pixar's famous for when they picked a subject being like, let's do a ton of research and let's find story discoveries from learning about the real thing. And certainly they did a lot of that with A Bug's Life. He replicated that model here. He found the thing about certain fish have like 5-second memories.
I feel like that was already a
Yeah,
joke about
right,
goldfish.
The old goldfish
Yeah.
memory thing.
And
yeah,
he was
yeah.
like, that's kind of an interesting character challenge.
Short-term memory loss.
And it could so easily be that's a character you meet for 5 minutes
Totally.
in one of many segments of
Yeah,
the movie.
it's like one bit in the movie, right?
Right. He gives himself like a real fucking tough challenge to how do you make that the other character in the dynamic and not have it be annoying?
You know who's pretty funny?
Ellen DeGeneres?
Dory.
Dory rules.
Dory's
pretty
amazing.
great.
It's a great bit.
But
Dory's and Ellen is so funny in this movie. It's crazy.
so funny. But
It's-
like,
yeah.
how does it not to write that character and perform that character where it's not frustrating that she's the obstacle in the movie? Because the actual goal of the film is get to Nemo. But then the person who's joining him in that goal
she's kind of not helping.
has her own dilemma.
yeah.
It makes it all the more satisfying when she can push through things.
Sure.
It makes every like win she has like so much more heartening.
But I mean, without
Not to-
her, Marlon is a
Yeah.
pain. in the
Totally.
ass. So what were you going to say, Becca?
Oh, just not to skip ahead, but one of the big
They
moments
find
that
Nemo.
breaks my
Let's skip
heart.
ahead.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, when he abandons her,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oof.
But to your point, Becca, to have this character be female, to have it be an entirely aromantic relationship between male and
They don't
female
fuck.
adult characters, they do not, I'm going to say this on the record. Marlon and Dory do not,
I regret even
Not
saying
only that, but you don't even want to ship them.
you don't want
No.
to ship them.
No,
You-
not really.
this is a great
they'd be a
point.
nightmare couple.
You,
Yes.
you don't want to ship them. It's closer to being a surrogate parenting relationship.
Yes,
Sort of.
Which
very.
is why it helps Marlon have a narrative within the film, an emotional arc
Yeah.
of he's in trying to keep Dory safe, realizing the things he's fucked up
He's
with
right.
Nemo.
He's realizing his parenting mistakes, but he is also Dory is also helping him overcome, like his anxiety, his sort of his executive function problem of kind of like never making choice. Just keep swimming, man. Like
Yeah.
sometimes
Yes.
you need someone who's just like kind of positive energy. We got to keep going. Like
And-
he'd never make it to Nemo without
no,
that
and
energy.
even with her condition, there's the fact that she is an adult means that he talks to her a different way than he talks to Nemo.
right, he can't be quite as patronizing.
And when she pushes back on him, he listens a little bit more.
Yeah, he learns to trust.
Yes. Dory rules.
Dory's good, Ellen's great.
Yeah.
I love to order her lunch. Just that's what I love to do.
I mean, this is
and get it right every time.
this is the movie that saves her career.
It transforms her career.
The talk show
Yeah.
premieres this fall after this movie is released, so
Wow.
obviously
Yeah,
it was
2003.
already in the works.
Yeah, but she has the failed second sitcom.
Yes.
2001 to 2002, which was called The Ellen Show.
Yeah.
Which is like that's the one where it's like she is gay. Like it's
Yes.
is like baked into the show versus the first sitcom. Like that is a
Right,
revelation that
right.
comes late in the show.
Yeah.
And that had like Jim Gaffigan in it and stuff and Martin Mull. And it was
Mhm.
like a big CBS show and it flopped.
Yeah.
And it was kind of the thing of like, right, was Ellen kind of just, she had Ellen, she had the show. Like she was important culturally, but like
But they were also
that's
like
kind of it.
they were putting her in movies.
She's in
Mr.
Ed
Wrong's
TV.
obviously a disaster, but she's
Yeah.
in Ed TV.
She's funny in Ed TV.
She
She has a line I think about all the time.
Which one?
Can I say it?
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's just a good line. It's like Rob Reiner comes in and
Mhm.
he's like the mean bot, the
Yeah,
mean seat
the
owner, network guy.
Yeah.
And there's something to do about like, he's like, if this happens, I'll get you more money. And she's
Mhm.
like, could we get coffee filters? We've been using a yarmulke. And it feels like something Ellen might have made up because it's
That
just such a
definitely sounds like
specific
an Ellen
image
joke.
that
Yes.
they just have this soggy yarmulke.
Yes.
Anyway,
That's awesome.
sorry, I think about it a lot.
She was so big in the 90s.
Yeah.
And the arc of what happens to her is really fascinating to study now because there was just like years of speculation of she's gay, right?
Right.
We're just
what's
not
with this?
saying it.
Right. This
There's-
like short-haired lady with pants.
There's the Larry Sanders episode that happens like 2 years before she comes out, where the whole premise is Rip Torn's character is pressuring Larry to be like, if we could get Ellen coming out,
Right.
that would be a big boon for the show.
So Ellen's kind of winking at it within that show.
And within the episode, I feel like they never say it. They never put a name to it. And then the twist in that episode is that her and Larry sleep together, and he's like, I think maybe she's not. But much like the Seinfeld contest episode, they're never saying the word. So it was enough in the ether that she's even making jokes about the fact that she's not acknowledging it. And then they do an episode where she comes out.
Sure.
The character is going to be gay,
Yeah.
and Ellen's going to come out. It's the front page
Laura
of
Dern.
fucking Time
The
magazine.
puppy episode.
Yep,
Called the
I'm
puppy
gay
episode.
with her sitting crisscross applesauce.
No, she was doing a little
Yeah,
fun kneel.
Oh, you're right.
yeah.
Becca knows.
She's doing a gayer stance than Chris Cross applesauce.
Ellen, she's the best.
But that episode,
I love Ellen.
that episode is huge in the ratings. Yep,
Yeah.
I'm gay
Yeah, and
makes
then it
headlines.
crashes. Right. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
one of these things where like she gets this huge bump of visibility, and then everyone sort of applauds her, and then immediately is like, "But obviously, we can't like sell car commercials on a gay show."
Well,
All the
Subaru.
sponsors go away. The listeners,
That's a good point.
the viewership
U-Hauls.
drops.
I'm just gonna get canceled.
The show's basically canceled within a year of her coming out.
Yeah.
And the attitude is like, thank you for your bravery, but obviously you're not part of the popular culture anymore. And then she talks about for years fighting to be like hosting the Emmys or hosting SNL when she didn't have anything to promote, trying to just get herself back out there as a comedian after all the offers had dried up.
Ellen, she
Many-
ran a bookshop.
Yes.
Was it a bookshop?
What?
Ellen.
True?
Ellen Morgan, the character in Ellen.
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
it a bookshop? Yeah.
Yes.
It was called Buy the Book. Funny.
Very good. But this is the movie that launches the second half of her career. That reintroduces her in an undeniable kind of way.
Does she make a lot of movies after this?
No.
Because she's doing the show.
Yeah.
So the only movies she made after this in which she's not playing herself
Is Finding
is
Dory.
this film called Finding Dory.
Yeah.
In which she played Dory.
She did play
voice.
Dory.
And that's it. And she's never made one since.
She did more specials.
She did some stand up.
Yeah.
Like any movies?
No movies.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
She
It's
did-
just Dory from then on.
I think about that tweet all the time, Becca. You know what I'm talking about? Of like the loss of her talk show.
Oh, yeah.
Where she's like, she would have
the balance of the
extracted-
universe is off.
Right. She would have extracted everything usable out of Hawk Tua and like
Yes.
discarded
Yeah.
her like a carcass. Like
Yeah.
Hawk Tua got to like have a whole year because Ellen wasn't there to just kind of be like, here is Hawk Tua. We've presented her to you. We've asked all the questions and now she can go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the like
She can-
Ellen
there's the door.
extraction machine.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Yeah.
that's how it used to be. It was like, there's a funny video of you ordering a donut in a weird way. Come talk to Ellen for an hour and then never be seen again.
But it's also just fascinating that Ellen went from being like, Hollywood like threw me out. They like said, thank you for your bravery, and then like closed the door on me. And then she's the voice of one of the most famous and beloved animated characters of all time, two of the highest grossing animated films in history,
Right.
and becomes like the voice of reason for every mom in America.
Mm-hmm.
Like has a 20-year run of just being like, she kind of controls this like sliver of the national conversation of just like, I'm deciding which viral people get elevated. I'm deciding like what the new style and throw pillows are at Target.
Yeah, it is interesting that that Ellen show starts and then this rise of like viral videos and
Right.
social media starts, and she
She just
immediately
thunk. Right.
becomes the curator of
Yeah.
that for moms.
Yes.
And
right.
dancing. She invented dancing.
There's
did
an
invent
Ellen
dancing.
bit
Before then,
in
people just stood.
in the
inert.
famous J Nirvana sequence. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I've
You mean
heard
like
you're
when
afraid
he
of
real-
clowns. No, Ellen, that's not true. And then the clown pops up out of the Jack in the Box.
So there's a movie.
There's a movie.
I just
You're right. She's in.
is she coming back? Or is that because I know she had like a recent-ish special in the last 5 years.
She did
Much-
a documentary about gorillas.
David, much like
Chip
Alec Baldwin,
chips.
she said goodbye to public life. On her last tour, she said, "This is the last time you'll ever see me."
And wasn't her I didn't watch the special, but wasn't the special kind of like, yeah, I'm rich. I live in a spaceship.
Oh, that's the one that had the clapter that went for like 2 full minutes.
Yes.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
Like
Right.
it looks
So-
like it was edited to
Right.
be. She said something very self-congratulatory,
Yes.
and then they kept it all in the edit of the special, and everyone claps for
Right.
like an hour.
It's also her addressing the mean Ellen stuff.
Right.
It was like around that time she starts doing all this press, and it becomes very clear that she never, ever got over the anger of how everyone in the industry responded to her coming out. That even when Finding Nemo and the show bring her back to prominence, she kind of held on to this spite forever. Of like, everyone commended me for doing a thing that was culturally important, and also every job dried up.
Yeah.
It's just fascinating, like this movie, so much hinging on that choice to cast her.
It was the right choice.
Yeah.
But as we sort of said, like every casting decision in this movie is pretty spot on.
Mhm.
Even young Alexander Gould,
He's quite good.
Weeds.
the voice of Nemo.
Yeah, he's the kid from Weeds.
That's right. He was the kid on Weeds. I
Mhm.
remember that. He had a little bowl cut. His
Mhm.
mom was
Yeah,
dealing
He
weed.
looked like a little Nemo. Nemo's just a round little guy
Man.
with a pair of eyes.
Weeds. Talk about a show that its entire premise is defunct now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, I'm selling weed. I'm going to get in trouble with the law.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh no, the cops are after me because I sell joints.
Now you can just go to the store.
Now you
go
can
to
just
the
go to the
fucking
store.
store.
Yeah.
Finding Nemo begins with Nemo's mom getting chomped to bits by a barracuda. What do you think? A plus? Good?
I mean, I do think it's an incredible opening. It also felt jarring as a Pixar obsessive seeing this opening weekend. They played Knick Knack, which was an older short, being
Is that
reissued.
Is that the one in the snow globe with the
Yep.
jackhammer?
Yes.
And the
That was
sexy lady in the
Well,
other snow globe.
But because of woke, the sexy lady in the snow globe used to have big naturals. And I think when they re-released it for Nemo, they made her a little more flat-chested.
Hmm.
And I have been writing angry letters to Disney every day of my life since then. I want my snow globes horny.
But like those early Pixar movies, right? That's what they would do. They would show the old shorts.
They would alternate because there was not as
There wasn't
Jerry's,
the-
Jerry's Game and
Yeah,
For the
But,
Birds.
right, they didn't have
story.
the young kids making their own shorts within Pixar
it wasn't
yet.
as consistent a pipeline. So sometimes they'd be like, we don't have a short ready. Let's throw up one of the old
Fucking
guys
get
on.
Knick Knack out of the fucking box.
Knick Knack rules.
They never did Red Stream though, cowards.
They didn't.
That's the one they never put on there.
No kid wants to see that on a big screen.
It's a sad movie.
The clown's really
Oh,
scary.
yeah, it's a bit creepy. And it's in like a
that's
black
why-
void.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not...
why I liked it.
It's about a fucking
weird.
unicycle, Ben. It's a movie about a unicycle who's sad that he can't get a clown to sit on his face.
That's insane.
That sounds like a parody of
Well,
a
he wants
Pixar
to
concept.
juggle, right? He wants to learn how to juggle with his two little
you're right.
pedals.
You're
Yeah,
right.
but there is a clown in it,
And
and
he-
it is weird.
Where does he sit?
Well, there's only one place to sit on a unicycle.
Find the lie. But Knick Knack plays. Then we got our fucking jumpin' Luxo Jr. guy. And then the movie, like, just kind of cold open straight, like, mid-dialogue. I
Right.
remember that feeling jarring. It does feel like a tonal shift against the other Pixar movies that ease you in to a reality.
Yeah.
I mean, the opening line of this movie is wow,
Yeah.
right? You're seeing...
And you're already
The,
saying that because you're
eggs.
looking at this digitally animated ocean.
That's
and you
also
incredible
cannot
it
believe
is
fucking
it.
quite
landscape.
gorgeous. I saw this film by myself. I
Mhm.
remember I was here on vacation.
Mhm.
I had to fill some time, and I went to like a midday screening at Regal Union Square, and it was all kids.
Yeah.
because it was the summertime.
Yeah.
and I felt a little weird. I was
Daytime.
17 years old.
But you'd go see a matinee and the theater would be filled with fucking grown.
Yes,
I
well,
saw this movie multiple times in theaters,
Right.
and that was part of its success was Pixar had become enough of a name brand that even people who didn't grow up with Pixar, like people who were in college when Toy Story came out, were like, guess I gotta go see the new Pixar movie.
right.
The track record was just so fucking strong at this point. The opening was humongous, and then it just played throughout the entire summer.
It did. It wouldn't go away.
This was the summer that everyone assumed Matrix Reloaded is the juggernaut.
Right, and that was May, and this came out
2
like a
weeks
week
later?
later,
A
2
week
weeks later,
later?
or whatever. Yeah.
And then by like 2 months in, it was like, this has zoomed past Matrix and it
Yeah.
keeps playing throughout the entire year, which obviously can't
It has
happen
0 architects, so I
with-
don't know why that happened.
just kids.
Yeah, they need a Merovingian fish.
Oh, that would be fun. A French fish.
Yes.
I
well,
guess the
there's
chef.
a shrimp.
Yeah, the shrimp
Yeah.
chef. He goes,
Jacques.
you know, he's done or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oui.
Suivez-moi.
Yeah. Who voices him?
That's Joe Ranft,
Love it.
who's also Wheezy.
Oh,
Yeah. It's many, many voices.
Is Wheezy dead?
Well, Joe Ranft is dead, sadly. Do you know what happened? Joe Ranft was
Got
working on the
put
movie
a high
Cars.
shelf? No, what happened? I'm sorry.
He was working on the movie Cars,
Yes.
which I think he was maybe co-director on.
Yeah, I think that was where he was rising up too. Right here.
What's the worst way he could have died?
I don't know,
Run over by car.
accident?
Car accident.
That's really sad.
So who else died is the 399 eggs in
Yes.
coral, and then
Never forget about the 399.
I do feel like they have right, like that's why they do it as well, right? Because like fish do have hundreds of children,
Right.
so they have to come up with this kind of plotty way that he's like it's like a one father,
Yeah.
one son.
It's like how Judy Hopps
Yes.
has like 100 siblings.
but it's
I mean,
it's
don't
what's
get me. Do not. get me started on that.
It's what's really smart about the setup, I think, too, where you're like, what is the only circumstance in which a parent would be this obsessive over a one child? And it's where they make these choices of like, when is the characterization being dictated more by the behavior of fish versus the behavior of humans? And with Marlin, they find this exact midpoint where you're like, well, if fish have hundreds of children, they couldn't be this helicoptery.
Mhm.
But if he has a traumatic event that gives him only one child, then is he just like a neurotic parent in the early 2000s? I
Yeah.
also think, to my point of just like this thing that Stanton was able to identify of how to make animated characters be grown-ups. Like, this is a movie in which Nemo's the title character, but Nemo is the third lead.
Yeah.
The two leads are grown-ups.
True.
And same with Monsters, Inc. and Toy Story and A Bug's Life that all have kids in them,
Mhm.
but the kids are supporting. And the grown-ups talk like modern grown-ups. And when we enter into this scene, what's immediately kind of comfortable about it is that it has the vibe of a couple who have been looking at houses all day.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
That you feel the where their in-jokes are, how they needle each other.
IKEA couple. Yeah.
The satisfaction of, you know
Yeah.
what? You're right. This place is good. And then how immediately that paradise is destroyed by this barracuda.
That's the villain of the movie, Griffin.
Yeah.
Barracuda.
Barracuda.
Yeah.
Barracuda.
Anyway, years later, cut to Nemo lives. He
I was
has
gonna say,
fucked up Finn.
I know we're just hyperfixating on the first scene of this movie alone.
Let's move past it,
But
in my opinion.
for how large the trauma of the barracuda, and as you said, like many parents who are just like, I just don't show this scene to my kid. It is funny that when you look at it, the barracuda is still cartoonish looking. Like has like a
Yeah.
big, goofy, googly eye.
And it's like a scary cartoon.
It's also like a perfect kind of trauma by implication where you see the moment where she clocks the barracuda.
I know, and then she looks down.
He
I
notices it
know.
because she's no longer riffing with him. He's inside the anemone.
You are fixating on
He
this scene.
peeks out.
Yes.
There's perfect fucking acting of her eye line changing to the barracuda and trying to game out if she can make the move to protect the eggs.
How's she going to protect him? She's just one fish.
And then Marlin gets hit by the tail, blackout. You don't see her die. You just have him wake up to her not being there and only the one egg with the
Little
crack.
egg in the fins.
Right.
The crack
Yeah.
is why he has a.
One
got the lucky
assumes
fin.
that's the
Right,
bum
the
fin
lucky fin.
reasoning.
Yeah.
He's lucky.
I
why
don't
it's
think those
lucky.
eggs can really crack because they're like jelly, but like who cares?
Lucky Finn.
Yes. So they live in an anemone.
Yes.
Marlin and Nemo.
Mhm.
And Nemo wants to start school. I guess it's sort of a September because the
Yeah.
year's starting.
He's been eager to start. Marlin keeps holding him back. He has to
How
remember to
long
brush his
do
anemone.
Clownfish live 6 to 10 years in the wild, 10 to 20 in an aquarium.
Okay.
Should have kept him at the dentist.
Well,
Yeah,
don't worry, we'll
seriously.
get to the aquarium.
Yeah.
It's a thing that Stanton said also when he saw that picture of them poking out of the anemone and said like, oh, what about clownfish? Then he looked into it and he was like, clownfish live in anemones and rarely leave. That there was like a gift in researching the species
Yeah.
of, oh, they live in this weird like security net that also can sting them and try not to leave the bubble. I think it is a really smart characterization choice. They dialed in the exact right amount of anxiety that Marlin can have because there's an insufferable version of this movie where Marlin is like, Bo is afraid.
Yeah.
Where he is
He
so
sees danger out of
terrified.
every corner.
Right,
yes.
that he literally doesn't want to leave the anemone. There's something in the fact, and even just the way he's doing bits with Nemo at the beginning, where it's like he wants to think of himself as a funny guy. He wants to think of himself as not being too uptight.
Easygoing dad.
Yeah, the neighborhood dads like know him already.
Right.
Once
Yeah.
he gets to the drop off.
This is true.
Everyone tries to relate to him like a normal person, and then he just always puts a little too much in it. He always
he-
gets a little too wound up.
Can't tell the joke. And no one's mean.
No.
But I like when he's fucking up the joke. They're just like, okay. You know, like all the dads are just like, can we
Pity.
stop? Yes.
The one guy just goes, for clownfish, he's not very funny. And then the other guy goes, pity.
It's a jellyfish, a seahorse, and I'm trying to think the dad.
Yeah.
It's the
Brigade.
type of fish of the one who says, I'm obnoxious.
Yes. Which is Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle.
Which might be a
Eric
yellow
Sullivan.
tang.
Yeah.
Or an
Well,
angelfish.
I think
no,
that's
no. So Dory is a blue tang.
Yeah, but
Right.
here I am speaking about a yellow tang.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. There's
in
that
fact,
third
she's
fish
saying
that's a yellow
something
tang.
different, David. And this is why
No,
you should
no.
listen to
Oh, no,
women.
Bubbles. Bubbles is a yellow
Yeah,
tang.
Bubbles is
Okay.
a yellow tang.
So these might be angelfish. Oh.
Not to be
Eh.
confused though with Pootie Tang.
No. And
Pootie
also,
Tang is in the film, but you have to look for him.
let's also
Um,
say we've invoked Bubbles, but we're not
Willem
yet getting to
Dafoe.
the root of the matter. We will do that later.
Okay, good.
Willem Dafoe is an angelfish.
Okay.
Bubbles is a yellow tang.
So what's the kid?
A butterfly fish.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
The others are a flapjack octopus, which is those octopuses with like the cute little legs that kind of go like.
She is adorable.
And a seahorse. So it's
Right.
not a jellyfish; it's an octopus.
Her one tendril shorter than the others, but you never notice when she
Because
twirls them like this.
jellyfish in this movie are like anglerfish in that
Right,
they
they
seem
don't
to
have
lack
consciousness.
a consciousness, aka eyes.
well, jellyfish in real life
Yeah.
definitely don't have a
They
brain.
don't have a brain.
They
I
don't
mean,
have
my daughter has endless questions for me about jellyfish, which I fully send because we go to the aquarium all the time.
I was going to say like 4 times a day you go to
Right,
the
it's
aquarium.
the
it
best
seems
place on
like.
earth. But
Yeah.
like where she has really reasonable questions of just like why and how.
Mhm.
Like, why do they exist? And then what is this?
Yeah,
Like, where's,
yeah.
and I'm like, how do they eat? And I'm like, I don't really know, man. They're weird. Jellyfish are weird. You ever been stung by jellyfish? Question from the
Yeah.
room.
Oh yeah,
Me too.
Stings.
it really hurts.
Sucks. Fucking
You ever get
sucks.
peed on?
Yeah, but not for that reason. Just for fun.
We packed sand on it. Oh, sorry, I fully wasn't.
Fine. I think peeing doesn't really work and sand possibly does, right?
A bit more.
Yes. Peeing is one of those classic, like, old wives' tales things.
It does feel like as much as he's trying to break out of a sense of a Pixar formula that was starting to codify at this point, this is the most traditional Pixar move of now let's do 8 minutes of basically blackout gags of what's funny about fish.
Right.
Right.
Like
What's
Toy
some
Story
fish stuff?
has this the second Andy leaves the room
Yep.
and you're like, what's every character's game?
Yep.
I feel like certainly Monsters Inc. has this with Mike and Sully walking through Monstropolis the first time.
Totally.
And you're like, okay, how does a monster city work? You have all of this, which also feels like it's him knowing you have to counterbalance the trauma of what just happened in the movie. It's nice
Totally.
that
Mhm.
that they have a nice
It's
dynamic,
very
but
good.
also kids need to feel comfortable now.
It's very economical.
Yeah.
You get right to Nemo going away but without it feeling rushed, getting, in trouble and
It's
kidnapped
basically,
and
I
all
mean,
that.
like Nemo is taken at like minute 14, and I think Dory enters at minute 16. Like he basically gets both of those things set up within the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Of course, right. Their school is that they will ride on the back of a manta ray and he'll tell them things
A
about fish.
singing
He rocks.
teacher named Mr. Ray,
He's just so good.
who likes diffusing conflict.
Right. Who's right. Very, very good at handling interpersonal, interfictional.
Yeah, it's cool to
Trouble.
have a teacher who's also sort of also the bus.
Yes, great point. And the other parents are commending Marlin for seeming kind of chill,
Right.
even if he's not funny.
But then Nemo, he pushes it a little too far. He's
Well,
encouraged by the other
But
boys.
what also happens? He finds out that the day he's finally letting his son go to school also is the day they're going to the drop-off.
Yes.
The
right,
dads are giving him credit.
The edge of the reef.
Yeah, you
right.
seem pretty
The
chill.
drop off.
I was stressed out, right? And then I regret it. I never should have let him do this. He runs out. He embarrasses Nemo in front of his friends, and Nemo feels the need to rebel. He's gonna touch the butt.
He's gonna touch the butt.
Classic comedy.
And it's also nice to have the comedy there because that's hilarious if you're a kid, and it
Yeah.
helps diffuse the situation a little bit, which is very scary.
It is an acting moment that I love in this film. Nemo's silent performance of challenging his father to touch the butt, and they play it like Nemo is in like an FBI standoff where he won't break eye contact and he just taps
Yeah.
it really quickly and intensely.
With
I
his
love
squishy little
the kid
face.
going.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
But there's also such a loud
Yeah.
smack sound when he hits the butt. There's so much force on it. And his point is proven. He's ready to swim back to his father, unfortunately. A big bad dentist.
Right. The deep sea divers come. One puts Nemo in a Ziploc bag.
Mhm.
The other one, really rudely, takes a picture of Marlin.
A detail I love is that when the flash goes off on Marlin, Marlin reacts by turning sideways and his eye goes wall-eyed. So it's like the pose in the photo is what a fish
Oh,
would
it's
look
a
like
fish. That is
versus a
Oh.
cartoon
never thought
fish.
about that.
It's a really quick
Right.
gag.
Because fish's eyes go this way, but in
Right.
the movie they have
He
to look
becomes
this way.
flush and pointing out.
That's
right.
funny.
I remember reading a fucking like screenplay guidebook that was showing how all Hollywood movies fit into, certain storytelling formulas. And it tried to argue that the dentist is the antagonist of this movie, which is wrong. The
Yeah.
antagonist of this movie is Marlin's anxiety.
Yes. Right. That is what needs to be overcome and defeated.
Right.
I mean, also, Nemo does get captured and that it does suck. It's a problem. No one's villainous,
Right.
Yes.
but it
The
is.
same as these creatures just doing what they're wont to do.
Right.
All through the ocean. Like the seagulls are they're not villains, but they're not sympathetic.
You could argue
Yeah.
that the obstructions that almost feel malevolent in the movie are not circle of life, but like just the survival of the fittest mechanisms,
Mhm.
right? Of just this is the ecosystem of how fish survive in relationship to each other. But there's also like the reason why the tank stuff doesn't feel stagnant is Gil is able to kind of teach Nemo the thing that Marlin's afraid to teach him. That Marlin is so
Philip Marlowe.
Philip Marlowe. Marlin is so terrified by what he perceives as Nemo's weakness because of the lucky fin that he wants to teach him how to live a life devoid of risk and is overcorrecting. And Gil is someone who similarly is like scarred and empowers Nemo to feel like he has the ability to actually do things.
Yeah. We'll get into his initiation ritual, but I love that. They give him that little thing to feel brave.
Right.
Okay, so Marlin bangs into Dory, trying to find
Like,
Nemo.
immediately.
Bangs into Dory immediately. She can't help him.
Perfect character
but wants to
introduction.
help.
Well, of course, I know right this way. And then while
Then
he's
she
following
just
her, she starts
starts-
doing the panicked looking over her shoulder.
fucking
Who's
funny.
this creepy guy? And then she does the
It's-
aggro like, you got a problem, huh?
It's a tossed off joke. Obviously, it then becomes the premise of an entirely new movie.
It runs in my family. At least I think it does.
I think it does. Where are they? Makes me laugh so hard
And then
every time.
It's just a 2-shot that holds for like 10 seconds of silence.
I'm laughing thinking about it.
And then she looks back and she goes, "Hi, I'm Dory." That it's
She
one
can't
it's
remember.
one run on thought.
The timing is so good.
Right.
Where are they? It's just so fucking funny because, like, you never need to explain it. The whole movie then explains it.
But
Her dad
yes,
is fucking
yes.
pattern baldness, blue tang, or whatever. We'll get to that.
Yeah. But the movie's been moving so fast up
Yep.
until this point that when you have that sustained 2-shot of just letting the joke rhythm of Ellen drive the movie, it feels like a nice reset point.
Dory and him, then pretty much the next thing is the sharks,
Yeah,
right?
they
Like
run
pretty
into-
much
They come straight
immediately.
Run into Bruce.
This is the one thing in the movie that always felt an eensy bit cute to me.
The entire shark dynamic.
Agree.
The,
I don't love
the self-help therapy speaks stuff.
I don't love the trope of characters, same with Wreck-It Ralph, in a
group
group therapy
Mhm.
or in
I
like
agree.
a blank anonymous.
Overdone.
It's not my favorite. Now, can I play devil's advocate and say this was pretty early in
Yeah.
that? It is wildly overdone now.
I remember not liking it in 2003.
We must acknowledge that the sharks were kind of the immediate breakout characters. Bruce was big. Bruce had a big summer.
Well, Bruce
Dory
looks
is the
awesome.
breakout character.
Well, Dory's a movie star. Dory's like a leading lady. Like Dory's
Dory's
like,
first on the call sheet.
She's an ingenue.
yeah.
No, but one of the big posters
Yeah, of course,
was
it's Bruce's big
Bruce
face.
in the back.
I love, of course, that it's the great Barry Humphries, Dame Edna
Yes.
herself.
Playing scary.
And then Eric
Scary.
Bana and who's the third one?
Interesting. So the third shark in this dynamic is played by
Oh,
Bruce
Bruce
Spence.
Spence,
Now
that's
here's what's
right.
interesting about this guy, and hold on to your seats. He played the gyrocopter pilot in The Road Warrior, aka Mad Max 2.
Whoa.
He's also Tion Medon in Star Wars Episode 3:
But
Revenge of the Sith.
This very year, he is the train man because Matrix Revolutions
Correct.
is out in just a few months.
David, he was arguably
And
the king
this
of the
very-
box office in 2003.
Except he got cut out of
He
Lord
got
of the
cut.
Rings.
Entertainment Weekly did a little sidebar in their 2003 year in review where they said he was the highest grossing actor because he had Matrix Revolutions and Finding Nemo. And if he had made the cut of Return of the King, I think he would have had $2 billion in box office.
Wow. It's like how Jonathan Bailey was king of the box office last year.
Now,
Yeah.
why is that? Well, apart from because Jurassic was that last year?
Yeah.
Was that but last year?
It was.
that
but
he
last
saw a
year.
dinosaur
Right.
and went, oh, cool.
He cried.
Then he was the scarecrow.
Mhm.
Yes, Ben.
I like the shark house.
Thank you. I like that they live around bombs.
The
Yeah,
bombs
attached to chains.
are awesome.
The bombs are cool, and them being blown up is cool. It is funny that Ben's like, attached to chains. Not just bums,
No,
my friend.
no.
Let's not forget. And I like a shipwreck too.
Yeah.
I also feel like what is it? It's Chum, and what's the other shark's name?
Crunch or Crush? Let me find out.
Well, Crush is
Anchor.
Anchor.
Anchor, Chum, and Bruce.
Anchor and Chum.
Yeah. Oh, Crush is the turtle.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And
yeah.
Anchor is a hammerhead.
Yes, and Chum has the hook through his face. They just feel like
Awesome.
very Ben characters,
Definitely.
specifically Anchor and Chum.
They should get their own movie.
But yeah, like the joke, obviously, right? Is they don't eat fish anymore. What will they be eating? Doesn't really come up.
Kelp or some shit. But I just think this is
Like
also
real vegans.
I think sharks need like a tremendous amount of food to operate, right? Like
I think this is incredibly well staged action sequence.
It's so
it is.
good.
It's incredibly well done. Yeah, and the bombs exploding, Dory's blood coming out of her nose, and then the way his eyes change, like,
it
is
just
so
shark
cool.
eyes.
Yes.
I
He
just
just
think-
starts tripping.
Oh, that's good. And they're like, no, mate, don't do it, mate. You know, that's really funny.
I think like several points in this movie, in a film that you would not classify as an action film, Stanton kind of like pulls off a fish version of an Indiana Jones sequence.
Mhm.
Where even just like Bruce leading them through the establishment of the mines in the sea, right? Like all the sort of visual stuff it needs to teach you that's then going to pay off in the sequence. The missile silo that they can hide out in, how they can activate that to get rid of Bruce, which then even has the comedy within it of Anchor and Chum jumping in between Bruce's bites to apologize for his behavior. And it's just all like he keeps teaching you things that don't feel like overstated setups that pay off in very satisfying ways, where then you can just have action happen with real tension because you know this is a universe in which death can happen.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Characters can die in this movie and still get jokes in. Ben's laughing at how
Okay,
excited I am.
Dory is so funny when she forgets that they're being chased and then launches the missile so that they go back towards the shark.
Right.
Yes. This is
Any Dory joke like that works.
we should call this out too. This is the
Please.
other thing is that Dory can read English, even though she can't
Yes.
remember things.
32 Wallaby Way.
That's the reason that Marlin has to stick with her because the only thing they have to lead them towards Nemo is
40.
the address written
P.
on the
Sherman,
back.
42
Yeah,
Wallaby
so
Way.
during
Sydney.
this is when they find the goggles.
Exactly.
The diver's goggles. He clocks them.
Right.
We learn she can read English because she sees the sign that says escape.
Yes. Right,
Um,
right. This kind of perfect, like, he's stuck with her because she can do a thing that he can't do, even if she doesn't understand what she's doing. And she's constantly getting it wrong. But then in this, like, chain of events, it's like going after the goggles and the snap of the elastic band is what causes her to bleed, which is activates Bruce.
Yeah, she's so good even just doing the kind of, I'm fine, you know, like the,
Yeah.
This is also a character design that should not be
like a plausible nosebleed coming out
any
of it.
these things. She's so fucking narrow. Her face is basically a pencil when head on,
with
right?
eyes sticking out either side.
Right. And she's just got
Such
like
an
a nose
iconic
bump
look.
and a mouth.
There's a lot of blue tangs at the Brooklyn Aquarium, the New York Aquarium.
Yeah.
And my daughter's always like, Dory, there she is.
This is an incredibly difficult actual species to get emotion out
I
of.
got no notes.
Yeah.
I got no notes on any of the animation in this movie. I
Yeah.
think it's perfect. I think it's the apex of Pixar.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Ratatouille. Like Ratatouille has such a beautiful kind of like approach to all of its things.
I think this is a better movie.
Well, that's okay. Everyone relax. We're
This-
all saying
This
stuff.
is the 5-star tier for me, right?
Like-
Like the
For me
5-star,
too, for me too.
the two Toy Stories, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, Ratatouille, Incredibles. Those
Yeah.
are the ones at the very, very top of the heap for me. Those are like perfect movies in my opinion. I do think Stanton is the guy within Pixar who starts getting most fascinated by the idea that in computer animation you can simulate a camera in a way that you can't in hand drawn. And he pushes that really far in Wall-E, where Wall-E is really selling the illusion of there is a human operator. Like Wall-E has delayed zooms and shit like
Yeah.
that.
I know this is basically spoiling our list,
Mhm.
but do you like this more than Wall-E? Where are you there? I'm not sure where I am.
I think Wall-E's a little bit more imperfect than this film.
Right.
The
right.
ecstatic
But
highs of
high
Wall-E
highs,
Also,
yeah.
you just have to like think about when that movie got announced and it was like Andrew Stanton is making a robot rom-com in the style of silent films. I lost my fucking mind. When it was like he's making a robot Buster Keaton movie It felt like they had designed a film specifically for me.
That makes sense. Becca?
Huh?
Wally or Nemo?
Oh, Nemo. Like, Wall-E is like, I love Ratatouille so much, so that's not far behind Nemo. But Wall-E, I have a harder time with the things that are imperfect about it.
But you think this is Stanton's best film, maybe, but Wally's more of a great. This is the debate.
Yeah.
This is the grand debate we'll have over these 6 weeks. I
don't know.
guess
It's like a Godfather versus Apocalypse Now situation where you're like
Oh, that's interesting. I don't find that a tough situation anymore. I recently rewatched Apocalypse Now and was like, I think I can see, like, this movie has left me.
It's a
It was
messier
such a big
film.
movie for me as a teen. Obviously, it's incredible.
I
It has
also think
incredible
like
stuff
the
in
most
it.
ecstatic things that movie can accomplish are part and parcel with its messiness.
Right, totally.
Which feels the same as Wall-E to me.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, Wall-E is like a couple steps off of being perfect for me, but if it was perfect, it maybe wouldn't able to achieve the weird things it's able to pull off. But this film, it feels like Stanton is with really fucking limited technology at this time still. And this shit's so fucking expensive to do, and they talk about the methods they had to develop and the strategies of how to stop it from costing like $500 million. How do you continue to visually maintain the relationship between the characters and the water they're in?
Right.
Like in Shark Tale, it's just characters floating. In this, they're like, we can't in every shot show the bubbles or the waves of their fin motion. We can't always show the distortion of, the thickness of the water at this point at different levels in the darkness or whatever. But they choose their battles really well.
Mhm.
There are all these insane hacks they do where basically they create one texture surface, which is the surface of the water whenever they're peeking their heads up above. And then they copy that and put a different layer on top of it to make it the ocean floor.
Mhm.
So basically the sand and the water are the same element, but one is fixed and one is in motion. Similarly, they couldn't figure out how to make the anemone. And
Anemone.
the Monsters
saying
Inc.
it.
team, which was working on the other side of the studio, had
Right.
cracked the fur thing.
Right.
And someone
Sully.
went, oh, if you take a ball of fur and then like size it up like crazy so every strand is really thick,
Whoa.
then the anemone is just overgrown hair. So there's stuff in like animation that's like when you hear stories about Sam Raimi figuring out a hack for like how to pull off a special effect in a cheap way that this movie is using to like insane effect because none of it feels like shortcuts. And it's just so painterly and beautiful. And even just the
So
fucking
gorgeous.
the lighting on this movie.
Yeah, I wanted
lighting.
to bring up the lighting, especially because we're in a crisis in 2026.
The
To
color
see a movie
palette-
where it's so thoughtfully done.
So vivid and beautiful. And Pixar is like a big part of their process is what they call the color scripts, where they do these pastel kind of storyboards, not of every shot, but basically of every sequence to look at the color tones of the movie.
Which is like a classic Disney 50s type thing as well.
To establish the moods of like when is it brightest and when is it coldest and when do you need to establish a tone of things feeling ominous versus sad, and I think this movie uses the like depths of the ocean to convey those things. Things get brighter when they're closer to the surface.
Right.
Where
Very cool.
you see more reflection of the
And
light.
obviously
from
the whole
above.
anglerfish sequence, is such a bravura demonstration of all that. The
Yes.
light on the anglerfish is so
Right.
cool.
So they get away, and
Okay.
pretty quickly they're swimming down to retrieve.
Right.
the
When they get away from
goggles.
Bruce, that's when they come across the anglerfish.
They don't get a second to rest.
No. It's
Yeah.
it's
You know how
breakfast.
male anglerfish reproduce?
How?
You know, right?
They suck their
No.
own dicks? I'm taking a guess.
They're little and they fuse to the girl anglerfish and like melt into her and just leave behind their
Stop.
balls. And then the female anglerfish uses the balls to like make it lay eggs.
Do they come and get the balls back?
No, they die. That's the end for them. They die mate. They're just like
Go out on top.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, nice work if you can get it.
and it's one of those like dimorphism things where like the woman is like the woman,
The woman.
the female anglerfish is like
Lady.
10 times bigger than the male or whatever.
Yeah, like the ocean floor stuff brings up like deep sea is as scary and unknowable as outer space.
course.
Yes.
The creatures that are in it are alien. This one looks like an H.R. Giger alien. Like it's terrifying.
This is a great call. I mean,
Love it,
James
though.
Cameron taught us about the aliens of the deep and the Ghosts of the Abyss.
Goes to the abyss, alien to the deep. That's right.
I think it is very smart that this movie avoids.
Yeah, they can't go down
If
there.
you were to anthropomorphize the deep sea creatures more, it would feel like this is a bad neighborhood in a way that was coded very dangerously.
Leave that shit for Shark Tale.
Exactly.
Right.
It makes it much easier to just be like, this is basically outer space,
Yeah.
and we don't understand the rules of what's happening here. These characters don't have faces that you can like understand or talk to.
Yeah, I feel like if it had a voice, it would be too scary for kids.
Totally.
It'd be like breathing.
It's already
heavily.
kind of scary.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And it's right. It's selective which characters can't speak. It's the ones where even just being around them is potentially a danger, you know?
Yeah.
So to move on from the from this, pretty quickly, we are also in the tank, right? Like around this time is when we're sort of cutting over to the tank.
I was looking, I feel like the tank basically comes in 30 minutes in. We stay with just Marlon and Dory for a while. No, excuse me. It's right after the Bruce sequence. Because the bomb goes off, it cuts to the two birds and the one who thinks the other one
little
farted.
fart.
Just a
that's
really
funny.
good tension relief
That's
gag.
And a really good way to
solid
bridge
gag.
Ocean World and Silly Dentist World.
So the
That's true.
tank comes in minute 25.
Cool. And
Yeah.
the tank is like, at this point, we've already been introduced to like 12 incredible characters.
Yeah.
Let's throw in a whole perfect little chamber piece sitcom ensemble
Right.
of characters who are going absolutely stir crazy
You got
in
Gil,
this tank.
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe, Baby Jane Doe. Sorry, I'm being Catherine Lanasa.
Baby Cheeto? What is
Baby
no.
Jane Doe.
Baby Jane Doe. There's a Baby Jane Doe in the pit. Season
Oh, I
2.
haven't watched the
Early on, there is a abandoned baby,
Okay.
and Catherine Lanasa
Who's gonna look over this Baby Jane Doe?
is like, "There's a Baby Jane Doe."
This sounds good.
Yeah, it rocks.
Yeah.
And like pit fandom, which is very normal, not toxic at all, totally
Yeah.
regular. One of the recurring jokes about this season is like they're always like, predictions for finale, Baby Jane Doe, saves the day, like she will have laser vision, that they keep being like this abandoned baby.
Yeah, someone was like, I've seen the ending and just, I won't spoil it, but don't look up Baby Jane Doe and rocket launcher.
I don't say this lightly,
Yeah, go ahead.
but just 3 shows I don't engage with in the last 4 months. I've just been reading insane headlines about the way the fandom is treating these actors.
Like
I'm
it's
like,
broken containment on like that you are reading about.
fandom
it.
needs to die.
It really
And
does.
It's really what's happening in Pit World.
The shit that was happening to the
It's
heated
freaky.
rivalry guys, I'm
Yeah.
like, this isn't good, but I'm not surprised
Of
because
course, you're not
this is a
surprised 'cause-
show
right.
that's driven on a sort of Team Edward, Team Jacob over obsession with.
But blankies are great. And,
But,
we like that.
We love your
Yeah.
money. I mean, and your
Hey,
fandom.
easy.
Easy. But then like the pitch shit that's been happening,
It's so
and then there was the
crazy.
fucking Percy Jackson kid was like, I can't go
Oh, I
to
didn't-
prom.
Oh yeah, 'cause they were
God.
harassing whoever
Go to prom.
whoever
Let
he
ya-
takes to prom. The
Right.
fans are gonna send death threats.
He was
to.
basically like, the fans have like tracked down every girl in my high school class and is sending death threats saying like, you better not go on a date with him because he belongs to me.
Oh my God.
Everyone needs to chill the
It's
fuck
just,
out.
but it's the internet and it's the way the algorithms feed it and all
Yes.
that. It's so crazy.
But Pitt is the last show I would expect to have that.
Of course,
And I just keep reading these.
I think that's
insane
why it took
things.
everyone by surprise.
Yes.
where they're like, "What? It's a like a sober hospital procedural," and everyone's just like, "I can't believe that Robbie did that." And it's like he's a fictional character.
But then they're like angry at which actors aren't coming back when it's not.
They're being real normal about everything.
This group.
Okay, so we got
let's just
Gil.
right,
Willem
and then
Dafoe.
it's like sitcom fucking all stars, right? It's like Brad Garrett.
He's the pufferfish.
We have Allison Janney from The West Wing.
We love her.
Stephen Root from News Radio. Brad Garrett from Everybody Loves Raymond, obviously. Vicki Lewis also from News
Love
Radio.
her.
Austin Pendleton is Gurgle.
And he's he's a guy, like theater actor, million movies. We love it.
Max from The Muppet Movie. And then Joe Ranft is Jacques. But immediately everyone has their bit.
Oh yeah,
He's clean.
Nemo wakes up and sees all the scary imagery of the like
Tiki,
aquarium
the tiki
toys
I
and
really
everything.
enjoy that.
You
Yeah.
feel like, okay, so this is going to be like analogous to him being in prison now,
Right.
and he's stuck with a bunch of scary inmates. And then immediately it's like, no, this is like a mental hospital.
Yeah, it's Cuckoo's Nest.
They all have
They're so
conditions.
sweet.
Right.
Right. So okay, let me try. So Gil is scarred, and
Yes.
he's kind of battle.
and we learned he also has a bad fin.
He's got a bad fin too.
They
and it never
basically-
stopped him
I don't know if you've noticed this. The scarring pattern on his face is basically 1-to-1 with Platoon.
I was about to say it's Platoon, right?
They give him
Yeah,
the same
That's
scars.
funny.
Defoe plays it so straight, but also
Good.
I think it's like incredibly warm in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
He
He's this
doesn't just-
alternate father figure.
I know.
Yes.
I want Gil to believe in me.
He's
Like
so
he believes in
good
Nemo.
because you're just like, there's a universe in which they go like, the joke is you're really intense.
He's the drill sergeant.
You play it really
whatever.
seriously.
Yeah.
And at the end, you show a little bit of warmth. But even from the beginning, he's playing the vulnerability of this guy.
It's important too that he was the only fish that ever lived in the ocean.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's the rest of them are tankies.
Yeah.
Brad, the puffer fish, so he sometimes he goes puff mode. I guess that's his problem. But
Yeah.
he doesn't really have any
Control
other
it?
problems.
He's
sure.
got like a hair trigger anxiety response.
Right.
It's the equivalent of having
Uh,
like panic attacks or whatever.
I guess Peach is kind of maybe the most balanced, but she's a bit of a gossip.
Yeah.
I guess.
and a know-it-all.
Yeah. Bubbles loves bubbles.
Yes.
He's obsessed with the bubbles.
He's OCD and he's obsessed with the little treasure chest that releases bubbles and trying to keep them in there.
One of
Yeah.
the great fish tank toys.
the
Oh,
bubbles.
yeah.
the
If not,
little-
I think the top.
Or I guess no. Gurgle's the one who's OCD and
Yeah,
is
Gurgle's
the
like,
neat freak. Yeah,
And then Deb, I just love the idea that she's obsessed with her own reflection.
This is
Flo.
my sister Flo.
who she thinks is a liar. She
So
tells Nemo
funny.
not to
It's
trust.
so
Flo.
funny.
It's really good.
Yeah, and then Jacques is just a high status,
Yeah.
elitist Frenchman.
He's kind of good, actually.
Yeah,
He's really
Jacques,
fun.
Jacques rules.
So they all want out, though, right? Like they all
Yes.
want out of the tank, and they have like a sort of developing plan that
But
Nemo fits
Yeah,
into.
he's dropped into a great escape situation where it's like there have been years of failed plans. They keep on trying things that don't work, and Nemo feels to them like he offers some new opportunities, specifically in the fact that he's small.
Yep.
He can go into the filter and put the stone in the fan and.
But
all that
speaking
stuff.
to how complete the kind of vision of this movie was when Stanton wrote it, the major changes you hear about in the film are taking out things that were gilding the lily rather than needing to figure out how to ultimately get to things. So, like, unwinding the flashback structure.
hmm
He originally had Gil be more of a, I don't know whether to trust this guy or not character. He played him more scary up top.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's a scene where Nemo gets Gil to open up and talk about what happened to him and how he ended up in the tank. And he tells this whole story about his family that went missing and where he came from. And then Nemo finds out later in the movie that Gil has been lying. It's like a Joker, do you want to know how I got these scars thing? And that every detail that Gil told him is in a picture book that's in the dentist's waiting room that he hears a kid
Oh.
read. And he was just like, we don't need this.
Yeah.
Just let Gil be actually invested in helping this kid.
Yeah. This
Gil
movie is
doesn't need to be
already
a liar.
stuffed to the gills.
Right. There were originally 2 seagulls.
How many comedy points there? Come on. Now.
1
That's like
trillion
negative.
comedy points.
Neg-
No,
negative
1
point.
trillion.
I now owe you comedy points.
You're in debt. There were originally 2 seagulls, or not seagulls. What is it? Pelicans.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. So the one who ends up trying to eat them was originally a fully developed character, and there was kind of a good and bad pelican, and Nigel's trying to protect them, and this other one's trying to eat them, and they were just like, none of this is necessary.
Because they already have the seagulls.
Right.
That's their thing.
Yeah.
But I love Nigel as a character as
Love
just this
him.
kind of like Jeffrey Rush just playing fucking warm, right? Just playing like a lad who
Yeah.
just loves coming in because he likes dentistry.
Right.
It's
Right.
funny how they all know about dentistry.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Because they've been in this tank all these years.
But they're
Right.
stuck. Nigel comes and visits of his own
He likes to
accord.
hear the like dentist update.
What's the
Yeah.
gossip?
It's like,
what
root canal
drills
today.
he using?
It's
Yeah.
funny because it's like they are watching the dentistry like television. They're
Right.
so invested.
Right. But for them, it's also like studying their captor to be like,
Yeah.
where are the vulnerabilities?
What's genius about Nigel too is you immediately recognize that is how they are gonna get out of there.
This is what I'm talking about. It's like there's such intentionality of this story that anytime a character's introduced, you're like, what's the function they're going to serve?
Yeah.
And anytime you're shown a visual element, you're sort of like, oh, right. He could keep people in his beak.
Right.
And none of it's all what everyone, talks about being the ideal of what you want to achieve in dramatic storytelling, and especially in like film narratives, is surprising but inevitable. How can you in 90 minutes pay off the things that felt like they were They had to happen, but yet when they happen, they don't feel de rigueur.
You really locked into this movie.
I've
seen it so many
I've
times.
seen so
and
I've
I mean, so have
many
I.
times. Yeah.
But yeah.
I truly this is one of my go-to I can't sleep movies.
Mm.
This is like a real comfort movie for me. And we were talking about, we did our Edge of Tomorrow episode on Patreon, which I guess will have just come out or recently come out.
Right.
And we were talking about how you will often identify a sleep movie and watch it like literally every night for like a couple of months.
Pretty much.
And
yeah.
then you
Nice.
kind of like squeeze all the juice out of it and you move on to something new for a while.
Yeah.
Nemo has just been in the rotation for 20 years for me.
I probably haven't seen this movie until I rewatched it yesterday in over 15 years or something.
Mhm.
And it was like, I know every word. I
Every
know
line,
every scene.
yes.
A lot of the lines are also so catchy, so sticky. This
Yes.
is like full of just these effortless feeling catchphrases.
Mhm.
It's not like donkey catchphrases. It's
No,
like
they're not dumb jokes, and so much of it is the specificity
so
of
memorable.
the actor makes a really interesting choice in the rhythm of their line delivery, or the character, the design of the character that is saying that thing, and
Yeah.
the animation of what they do when they're saying it.
So where did we leave off?
Well, we've done the tank for a while. The Dory thing.
They escaped the anglerfish.
They escaped
Right,
the
we go from the
anglerfish.
tank to the anglerfish.
And then it is when basically like Dory doesn't absorb the directions of like avoid the jellyfish and they go into the
No,
jellyfish.
so
Yeah,
or is this
Dory
Marlin's fault?
it's Marlin's
Right,
fault 'cause
she
Dory
she sort of remembers that they shouldn't do it, and Marlin's like, "What are you talking about? This is the right way."
Oh,
you
because
know?
the like school of
Yeah.
fish
yeah,
They're
who
like
does
they
the
don't
bit
like
too,
him.
or they keep impersonating.
That's John Ratzenberger.
that's John Ratzenberger.
Yeah, so we're gonna get back to them
the grumpy
in
Gus.
an
But
amazing way.
He's like
Oh, we are?
You have Marlin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you have Marlin dejected that they lost the goggles, right? And that's when Dory introduces the just keep swimming to cheer him up. That she's also invested in him.
Cheers
They
me
don't,
up.
she was able with the anglerfish because he used the light like a reading light. She
Right.
was able to do P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney.
Yes.
They've lost the goggles, but this is for the first time she's learning to remember.
Which I just think is so elegantly done that it's a gradual thing rather than at one moment suddenly. You have your payoff moments with her. You have the like her making the emotional plea to him that like when I'm with you I remember
Yeah.
things, and you have the moment where the whole Nemo thing comes flashing back to
But
her.
she's so proud of herself right now for she's like, I've remembered the
It's
address.
incremental. You give her little victories so it's not just like at one point in the movie suddenly she's fixed.
And because she repeats it 100 times, but also like because the remembering the address is something so emotionally important to her, that like I won't remember the address of a house I grew up in, but I'll remember
yes.
P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney until like I die, probably.
And especially her riffing on it and her turning into
Yeah.
the songs. Ask me again and I'll tell you P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way.
So they get to this trench,
Mhm.
and the trench looks dark and scary. Marlin
Sorry, I was pulling up to remind myself where I was. Instead, I just got the scary sounds of the trench.
And
Yeah.
Marlin is obviously like, well, we don't want to go through the dark, scary trench. We need to go over. A fish who she had asked for directions earlier told her,
It's the school of fish. It's the final
Yeah.
thing. After they've been making fun of Marlin and he's like, fuck these guys, then they're like, one last thing, but it's after he's swum off. So only she's there to hear it, and they don't know that she can't remember.
oh, right, that is then. I thought this happened later in the movie, but I'm getting them confused with the
It's
school of fish in the end, who we'll get to, who are also a
Yes.
big silver school of fish.
But the clockwork kind of precision of just like, there aren't any cheats in the story.
They are so funny.
They're so specific, like the conflicts they find themselves in, why they're there, why there isn't an easy out, why they need to fight to work through the thing.
hmm
Like if Marlin wasn't offended by them mocking him because he's so self-serious, then he would have heard the thing about the trench.
Right. And he doesn't like asking for directions. She's very friendly. She doesn't mind going up to anyone.
His stubbornness screws them.
They do the like, hey, is this fella bothering you,
Yeah.
That's funny.
lady? So they
Funny.
play a game of charades to cheer her up. And then so we've seen that they can move in this
Mhm.
really fun way. And then they do a big arrow
Mhm.
because they tell them they need to get to the EAC. Oh, right.
They
They
show the
say
Sydney
they know
Opera
where
House.
Sydney
They
is.
show the little waves. They show the opera house. They turn into Marlin and they do like a sad face
Yeah.
Marlin,
Yes.
which is pretty funny.
They do a mocking impression over his shoulder
They
of him
are
complaining
very
about it.
funny.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
so they
then-
give them the
right,
directions.
Right. Swim through, not over.
Yeah, he doesn't trust her,
Right.
so he distracts her. He's like, "Look, a shiny thing,"
Yeah.
and they go.
And the
over.
jellyfish fuck them up.
The jellyfish fucked them up.
Yeah.
This is the
But
sequence.
then they're woken up. I mean, we cut to the tank, and then when we cut
Right.
back to them, they're woken up by
But
the
it's
turtles.
so scary, intense, and so beautiful.
It's another camera decision where he said they animated this whole sequence and he was like, it looks too neat and clean and perfect. There isn't tension to this. And the guy who was head of camera on the movie was like, let me try something. And he clicked twice to zoom in. Like literally just did that.
Sure.
And did it kind of like arbitrarily.
Right.
Mhm.
And Stanton was like, oh, if the compositions are asymmetrical, if the jellyfish's bodies are cut off,
Right.
and it feels like there's just this
Then it's
weird
more
environment that you
hostile,
can't
yeah.
see as full bodies.
Cool.
And so all of the camera placements within the sequence, which is a lot more quick cutty,
Yeah.
are all kind of a little disorienting.
How did they stop the camera from getting wet?
Really good question. It's a fun sequence.
It's fun. We're getting to the turtles. The turtles, okay? In
The
my opinion,
turtles.
the most positive representation of a Californian in the world.
This is a really good take.
Yeah.
Like, of that kind of like the surfer dude thing.
Mhm.
Andrew Stanton, a Massachusettsan, although he's probably lived in California for
Yeah.
like decades at this point.
Yes.
Doing
From
like a
Cal Arts on.
surfer
Yes,
dude
yes.
accent. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, yeah. Right?
Mhm.
But it's like the whole point of Crush is he's just like, I'm 100 years old or 150 or whatever he is. Look at me. I'm fucking chilling.
There's
I'm
nothing
enjoying
annoying
life.
about this guy. He's
No.
not forcing his worldview on
Not
you.
at all.
But the more you talk to
awesome.
him, the
Go
more
with the
you're like,
flow.
this guy's got it fucking figured out.
Exactly.
He's like, when there's like cool when there's cool Jesus for teens. Do you know what I mean?
Crush is cool Jesus.
You think he's kind of like a youth pastor, but like a really nice youth pastor?
He's like the cool Jesus. He's the cool hippie Jesus that the youth pastor is talking about. 'Cause
yeah,
the
I guess like a youth
pastor's
pastor
obnoxious.
wishes he could be crushed.
But he's demonstrating an extremely different parenting style.
Yes.
Right? Marlon is being exposed to it is actually
A much-
healthy,
much less
for your kid.
helicoptery kind of parenting.
He'll find his
yes.
way.
a way to teach your kid, a way a kid learns to be safe in the world is to fail or fall off the swing
To
and
let
then
them be
figure it out.
empowered in their choices and feel like it's based on experiences rather than rules being placed around them.
Yeah, and feel it to have a sense of adventure that feels safe.
And just the whole idea of like, locating the EAC as a real phenomenon, then being like, man, okay, so turtles, would they be like surfers
Yeah.
if they're literally just in the flow of this?
It's sort of like a highway.
Right.
Like when you see the fish that are merging on.
But it also is skydiving.
Yes.
Yeah,
kinda
right.
coded too.
Right.
Oh, when Squirt gives the big like skydiver, like, okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna have a great jump today.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, incredible performance from Stanton. It's another one of these
Yep.
early examples where here's a role that they earmark of like, well, at some point we'll hire like a celebrity to do it. And he would do it in all the story reels
Much
and the
like
presentations.
Brad Bird doing Edna Mode or whatever, right?
Well, that's the opposite story where they hired, much like William H. Macy, it's never
Yes.
been named, but everyone believes it's Lily Tomlin.
Makes
Ah,
sense.
That he
Yeah.
hired Lily Tomlin and she was doing the records and he kept on giving her really specific directions of being like, no, I think it's more like this and it's more like this. And Lily Tomlin literally, excuse me, I got myself into a tongue twister. Lily Tomlin literally
Literally.
goes, I think you should just do this.
Yeah. Why don't you do it then? And then
Right. And then he just does
Edna
it.
was born.
Right. This was the opposite where when they were
Edna Mode.
when they were in the early stages, everyone around Stanton was just like, you should just fucking do this.
He's like
You
a
got
Hawaiian
this.
shirt guy. Well,
Yeah.
all the Pixar guys at this point in time are Hawaiian shirt guys.
Stanton's a little preppier. He's
Sure, he's got that New England thing going
yeah,
on.
yeah. But this is outside of himself. But he just like he fucking found the character. No one's gonna do it better.
Should
than
I have a Hawaiian shirt era?
No, absolutely not. That would be a fucking nightmare.
I think you're wearing a
He doesn't-
baseball shirt and it's awesome.
I'm in my Mets era.
Yeah,
I
that's the
keep
era.
buying jerseys.
So
wearing
the
a
other
Piazza
thing,
jersey
as
right
we've
now.
been saying about how all the character choices make sense for the type of animal,
Yeah.
this type of more relaxed parenting style, not only that they're surfers and whatever else, but it's also because they hatch their eggs really far away.
Yeah.
And Marlon goes, how do you trust that they'll come and swim all this way in the big ocean and find you?
Mhm.
And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, when they're ready, when you know.
But it's finding those gifts of like you do research on different species and you go, oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting character detail.
Yeah.
Rather than forcing things onto characters, you find these discoveries. I want to mention that in between, right before Marlon waking up,
Oh, we have tank stuff.
Yes, you have the first attempted tank escape.
Yep.
Which is genuinely like pretty
It's
upsetting.
That's also
good
an
and
Indiana
stressful.
Jones type.
I really like that it's a moment for Gil
Yes.
to be like, I pushed the kid too hard, or
Right.
like I was being crazy, like thinking this would work.
Also
or
that he's
whatever.
only been dealing with other adults.
Mhm.
And that he's pushing Nemo to the same extent. He's the opposite of Marlin, where rather than not letting him do anything, he's making Nemo do too much.
Yeah, so he pressures him. The plan is, because Nemo's small, he's going to swim into the filtration system
Yes.
and jam one of those little tank pebbles into the rotating
motor,
thingy,
yeah, the
the
rotor,
motor,
yeah.
to jam it, and then the tank will get gunky. They will all have to be put into little bags while the dentist cleans it. We get a really fun visual where
Right.
he's explaining
Him
how the
laying it.
plan is
It's
going to
like
work,
a
and
f-
talk about the camera placement. It's like
Yes.
this POV of these bagged fish rolling across the highway.
Stanton, I think,
flopping into
talks
the
about
ocean.
it as the Fincher sequence. He's like, this is my homage to the Fight Club. Here's how we're going to infiltrate,
Yeah, right.
you know,
right.
talking through it and all the crazy camera movements and
That's fun.
whatever.
It's
But
really fun.
It is a really smart plan.
It's a good plan, but it has this assumption to it that I do like, that it's like there's a fish logic
Yes.
of like humans will only do one thing.
Right.
And they don't realize that, like, yeah, a human can just fucking go on Amazon and buy like a new filter.
But I like that Nemo gets close. Like, it's not
Yeah.
like it's a total failure,
No.
but
Mhm.
but it is so scary
It's scary.
that it does actually set Marlin back. Not Marlin, I'm sorry, Gil. It makes him question everything to a degree where he's just like, these are the lies I'm telling myself so I can survive in this fucking tank. We're never getting out of here.
Right.
And it flips the dynamic where Nemo is going to have to console him, basically.
Okay, because Nemo finally does it because he hears about his dad's heroism.
Well, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Let's just run through because
Oh,
I
yeah.
need to.
Well,
I need to
that's
get
coming
through
up.
this
Okay.
because you have this lesson with the turtles, right? And they send them off the EAC, but they start spreading the message.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
a sequence that they talk about is just like kind of Pixar at their best.
It's
where
so
one
fun.
night they were like, "Fuck, we got to solve this story problem. How can Nemo possibly receive word that his father is looking for him? At this point in the movie, wouldn't he just give up? How do we stop the character from just conceding?" And they're just like, well, what if it's a fucking like game of radio, right? What if it's a chain of conversation? And then what are the opportunities for characterization and all of those things? Because all these have to be like a 4-second gag.
Yeah.
Of what's funny is, oh, our swordfish like upper crust British fencers.
So
you know?
fun.
And they basically just like write this all in one night, all do the voices. These are all Pixar people. It's all like Peterson and Stanton like repeating different archetypes and cultural stereotypes. And it's like a really fun journey that just feels like a fun story exploration. But then you get to Nigel hearing it, Nigel recognizing it,
Yep.
being like, I gotta
I
tell
know
this
a little
fucking
clownfish.
but you can tell that he's like, this is going to mean a lot to this kid. I got to tell him right away. Flies through with urgency. Nemo immediately is like, what? Actually, no, not possible. He's immediately heartened and then
Yeah.
rejects it as like, that is not a thing my father could
Yeah,
do.
that my dad would never battle a shark. Like, let alone even like Sandy Plankton's dad wouldn't even
Right.
battle a shark.
If you told him your dad is just swimming really far to get to you, even that would test his notion of his father.
But this is a beautiful moment because Nigel says some identifying features about
Say,
Marlin.
"Hello,
so-
sportfish, trout, tuna."
Oh yeah. His
Yeah.
name's Marlin.
Yeah.
Right.
So and
You said he
then-
fought a shark. I heard he took down 3. And you just fucking like Spielberg shot, push in on Nemo's face and his eyes widening.
Right.
As he realizes the expression of his father's love in a way his father could never say to him. The understanding of what his father has gone through to try to get to him.
Yeah.
I just find
It's what
incredibly
motivates him.
emotionally
I
overwhelming.
think you're right. I think it's very emotionally, it's very beautiful.
And
Very
so Nemo makes up his mind. He's gonna try the plan again. Gil wouldn't have wanted to
He
push him.
disappears in a cut.
Yeah.
Like Nigel's telling the story. All the other fish in the tank are so excited for Nemo. And then they realize he's missing and he's already gone back up the pipe. It's like hearing of his father's bravery has emboldened him to believe that he can do things as well.
We should also, of course, around now is when when Marlin and Dory get sucked into a whale. And Dory speaks whale to the whale.
But that's right after this, and that
It's right
changes
around there.
humanity forever.
I was,
It changes the world.
everyone just could not stop talking about it.
It was
How she
seismic.
speaks whale.
Yeah.
It is so funny I've seen Finding Dory so many times now
Mhm.
because my daughter vastly prefers it to Finding Nemo.
Mm.
And that movie I think is pretty fun, and we will talk about it on this show.
Yeah.
But the way that they're just like, well, Dory has to speak whale. That should be crucial, actually. The fact that Dory doesn't know where her family was, that's the emotional arc of the movie. That throwaway line, like in
And
the first
where
movie.
did Dory learn to read?
Correct. Like they're
human
basically
English
like,
writing?
what are the things about Dory? Now that is the spine of Finding Dory.
I like that movie a lot. Everything that drives me crazy in it is the checklisty sequel
Yeah, I hate
I agree.
that in prequel type
shit.
things.
Yes. Like I hate that they bring the turtles back, even though I love Crush. And it just feels like they're like, guys, you have to bring the turtles back. We need to sell like turtle merch.
Yes,
You know?
Yes.
There's stuff like that that's
Well,
really annoying. in it that-
Turtle talk we'll get into as well.
We'll get into turtle talk.
But whale.
Yes.
The whale
Speaking whale.
is just, that is one of the most biblical, ancient, important
Go off.
archetypes in myths and sagas and legends.
being
Is our
swallowed by a
heroes
whale.
get swallowed by a whale.
Yeah.
That's a good
You
point.
just have to do it. Pinocchio,
Yep.
one of the greatest animated films of all time,
True.
swallowed
Jonas.
by a whale.
Yeah.
I
Um,
think it's some of the best decor.
Like-
Inside of a whale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
baleen. Or
that's
whatever.
their little teeth
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, they're like
They're-
filters.
Yeah, which is so funny because you think of them as being sort of soft and small, but they're so packed in and hard when Marlin's trying to escape. But
Also,
anyway,
their taste buds being so pronounced that the fish can hang on to them.
Fun.
that
yeah.
part, I do not like Marlin rubbing up on the taste bud.
And also the water coming like as
Flowing against where the whale is swimming. It's so interesting.
yeah.
Whales
But
are crazy.
them having this fight where Marlin's like really reaching a breaking point with Dory of
Mhm.
being like, you keep thinking you can do, you can speak to whales, you can do all this fucking shit. And meanwhile, it's just the whale approaching them so fucking slowly.
Yeah.
Right, and because of the weird perspective and lighting
Yeah.
and all the tricks in the water, she's going like, "Hey, little fella, he's
I
so
don't
far
think
away.
that's a little fella.
that's Payakon."
Yeah,
That
that's
is Payakon.
Payakon.
He
That
is such a
Payakon.
Payakon because he is helping them.
It's interesting
Right.
that Way of Water inverts what you're talking about, where the villains go inside the whale and do something terrible.
Take their immortality juices.
Yeah, well, that's
Take
a
their
lesson
Emily
about
Ratajkowski.
whales are something grander and more sacred than us,
Yes.
and we can't be trying to mess with it.
True.
I do like that the whale basically becomes a location, right? That it's like,
Yeah,
where they
it's
have a
a
fight
room.
and they talk it out.
Right,
But I
but-
like Becca's thing of like, right,
Yeah.
also this kind of like they're passing through a siege perilous here. Like
yeah,
the biblical thing of
Yes.
like that they are transformed by being expelled from the whale.
right. And it's much like Nemo's character growth happening in him listening to Nigel's story, like just really elegant show don't tell stuff through
Mhm.
action. It's just such a fucking perfect piece of screenwriting when Marlin is yelling at Dory
Right.
for trying to come up with a solution for how to save themselves.
Yeah,
And he's just saying no to everything she's fucking doing. And then he finally breaks and says, my favorite line, you think you can do these things, but you just can't, Nemo.
Ugh.
And what I love about it is you see the shock on her face, the reaction of why he called me Nemo. She can't quite comprehend it. But then it cuts back to him and he looks so fucking embarrassed. Like he realizes what he just
Pretty
said.
embarrassing. Her name's Dory.
Yes. That's
well,
the
she's
only
like,
reason.
"Who's Nemo? I thought your kid is Harpo Chico Fabio."
Fabio,
Pretty funny.
yes, yes. But that he gets it the second it comes out of his mouth.
Mhm.
What?
Harpo. Just laughing about Dory.
It's
She's so
another
silly.
classic comedy thing. Anytime she confidently says the wrong name, and he just has to go Nemo.
No.
He just has to correct her so fast.
So
But
Nemo
he-
is a very
yeah.
fun word to say. It's awesome that it's said like a trillion times in this
Yes.
movie. It's a
Yes.
really cute, fun name.
Of course, Nemo himself escapes all by himself. Like, Marlin does not rescue Nemo.
No.
Right?
He's there for Nemo when he
Yes.
comes out of the,
Yeah.
into the harbor.
Right.
out of the sink.
But also, Dory is correct. Like, Dory gets
Yeah.
them out of the fucking whale.
Dory's been
Yeah,
talking
Dory's
to the
right.
whale this whole time.
Yeah,
Whales
she
don't speak.
talks like these.
And I think whales don't speak the same language as all the other fish because they're, again, like the tulkun, sort of like on this elevated plane of
Might be.
intelligence, the same way that we can't speak the same language of whales, but whales do have language.
Yes.
They sure
So
do.
that's sort of what's happening here in my mind. She's communicating with the whale. The whale is like, you need to do the counterintuitive thing, which is fall down into my throat so that I could then blow you out. I've driven you to Sydney. I'm dropping you off.
Which is also what teaches Marlin to trust Nemo
Yeah,
in
let
Nemo's
go.
escape. That she's doing the counterintuitive thing. Why would you go deeper into the whale? And Nemo similarly is not trying to swim up out of the net.
No,
Oh, yeah.
he's got to swim down. That's how we're going to escape this
He
thing.
learns about swimming down also because, when the fish have to get scooped out, usually to be sent to their doom at the hands of Darla, it's in a little net, and if a lot of them are in the net, they can
Yes.
break it.
And Nemo, the big transformation is he knows what to do. He persuades Marlin to let him do it. Marlin, lets him do it.
Yeah.
Right. Marlin has the wherewithal to let him do it, and they escape.
It's the story thing I love across the Toy Story movies that also feels very influenced by Indiana Jones, where you set out like, here's the clear plan. This is what needs to happen.
Mhm.
And the order of actions that will get us to the other side of this thing. And then immediately shit goes wrong and your characters have to improvise. But it's like a heist movie where you're so trained into how this is supposed to go that it's exciting every time they have to veer off of the plan. And the movie is telegraphing the all drains lean to the ocean thing
Yeah.
so loudly throughout as like, if they can just get there, then they're in the clear, they're safe.
Yeah.
It is a thing that Pixar people have talked about, that there were a lot of incidents after this movie came out of kids
Be
flushing
free! Right.
fish down the toilet.
It's like they're not going to
because they
they're
thought it
not
was,
making it to the harbor, man.
they thought that was
Oh,
the
that's
humanitarian
amazing.
act.
Oh, no.
Fish sales went way up after this movie.
Of course.
Sure.
And like aquarium attendants, I feel like permanently went up after this movie.
Hell yeah.
But there was a lot of kids trying to free fish by flushing them down.
I do think there's a very beautiful of its time sort of Y2K Frutiger era, vivid blue
Mhm.
and orange aesthetic to the whole thing that
Sure.
feels like it was.
Those are the two
big at the
best colors.
time.
Let's go Mets.
Yeah, that's the other
I also
reason-
like
yeah,
calling
let's
this
go
the
Mets.
Frutigo era.
Is that how you say it? Frutiger arrow?
Sure.
Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah.
Yes, I know what you're talking
Like
about.
like that one Windows background.
Yeah.
Just
Also a little
hyper-vivid.
Fruitopia.
I
Yeah.
miss it.
Oh, Fruitopia, I miss. That is like crush and squirt vibe.
Yes, that's
I
true.
miss my Windows 98.
Bring it back.
Bring it back.
Also, a good reason for them to be clownfish is the blue-orange contrast
Is
is
really-
the best contrast. So
Did you know if you ate a clownfish that it would be gross because they're covered in a special mucus to protect them from the anemones that they live in?
Anemone.
All right, kid, don't knock yourself out. No, and then we're done. Like, I mean, right? Like, it's like
Oh,
we,
no,
we,
no,
we
my
skipped
friend.
over. Right, you think you're in the clear when he
Right.
escapes.
Well, the tank gets super fucking dirty.
yeah, sure.
Austin
But-
Pendleton's freaking the fuck out. Can't you see that we're all surrounded by shit? Which they cut him off.
Yeah, she goes, shh, because
Right.
the dentist is coming in. And he takes his Reader's Digest into the bathroom.
Right.
Oh, yeah, is that when that happens? Or
Yes. And the kid in the waiting room is reading the Incredibles comic. I don't know if you noticed
And
that.
there's a little Buzz Lightyear in the toy chest.
Yeah. But the thing they didn't account for is that he would just buy some new high-tech cleaner and install it while they were sleeping.
Yeah.
That he doesn't need to take that out, or he took him out but put him back in really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So they wake up, the tank is clean, all hope is lost. Right. It does not know that Dory and Marlin have gotten so close.
Mm-hmm. And today is the day that Darla is coming and she's going to take Nemo and shake him until he dies.
Yeah.
she even gets her hands on him. I mean, she's got him for a second.
She gives him a hearty shake.
Yeah.
She's like the opposite. I think a lot of like the depiction of Australia in this was this and, Kangaroo Jack were like my only exposure to Australia
Mhm.
in, the first decade of life. And it so goes against the lovely, intelligent children of Bluey.
Mhm.
Darla makes it seem like the children of Australia are monsters.
I do think it's vital in Bluey that Bluey is a relatively obnoxious child.
Yeah, but she's not
She's
like
not
Darla
bad.
is like.
Oh no, Darla's much worse.
Can't,
But I mean, I just
wait, at one
you
point,
said Bluey, so you've
a
activated me.
character with an Australian accent calls Dory Bluey at
Well,
one
she
point.
is
Yeah,
blue.
she is blue.
But in Bluey, one of my favorite episodes of Bluey, a hugely controversial episode, is the one where
Ellen comes out.
the puppy episode. They're all puppy episodes
This
of
is
Bluey.
true.
Is the one where Bingo, first they both turn into Blueys, right? Bingo turns into Bluey, like Bingo paints herself blue.
I don't know about this.
Oh, it's so good. It's called Mini Bluey.
Why is
Awesome.
it controversial?
I'll tell you in 1 second. So Bingo turns herself into Bluey, and Bluey's like, this is what it's like if you're Bluey.
Mhm.
And essentially is like, you need to be more obnoxious. Like you are not,
Right.
like you are the
Okay.
good sister.
Okay.
I'm the more annoying
It's
sister.
like blah, blah, blah.
Don't
I'm
listen to dad
bossy.
when he tells you to do something right. Ignore people, be a little
Mhm.
bossy, make weird noises, yada, yada, yada. And they do that for a while. And then Bluey's like, this is boring. How about I be Bingo? And so they both turn into Bingo, right?
Yeah.
They Bluey paint. And then, they're being nice and helpful. And the dad goes, this rocks. Like, result, this is great. And then
Oh, sure.
Bluey's
You're
really
making my life
upset.
easier.
Like Bluey gets upset and
Yeah.
they have to resolve like, Bingo's like, I'm also annoying. Like
Oh,
Bingo helps
Bingo
her.
is a much sweeter kid.
But like Bingo's
Bingo's an
basically
empath.
like, of course, like they think that, but like I'm also annoying and weird and demonstrates how. But then the episode does end with the dad being like, but it did kind of rock when she was being Bingo, right? And a lot of fans don't like it because it's like it's not an example of amazing parenting. Like
What?
the dad never really
They
apologizes.
can't be these perfect parents all the time.
That's why I love it.
The issue with the Bluey parents is they're too perfect. So we need these moments. Anyway,
Agreed.
where are we in this?
Here's the thing I like in the movie, and I like this just when movies can give me this feeling, where you feel like it's wrapping up, and you're like, it's a shame. I've been having fun. I guess if it's time to end, it's time to end, but I could watch some more of this. And there's basically a fake out denouement, right? Like,
oh, yeah.
Darla's here, ticking clock, it's coming to a head. Marlon and Dory have made it, like, basically right.
In Nigel's mouth, which was
Right.
another moment of learning to trust because
Yes.
he's like, you need to hop in my mouth for me to.
Simplified, this is the only thing the other Pelican needs to accomplish is just being a basically non-speaking rival
Yeah,
for
and
like
they're
3
all
minutes.
like lads who are perched above a fish and chips stand.
We also
which
need
is
to call
awesome.
out the mine seagulls, who we haven't even talked about yet.
Right, which were also, you say Bruce is a breakout star. The seagulls were huge.
Humongous.
Yeah, Seagull. Mine? Mine?
It's so
It's very funny.
It's just another really good identification of like, what do seagulls feel like to us
Right,
when
what's
we
their-
see
what's their
them?
bit? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And also Nemo's playing dead
yes. So right.
so
he's-
that he'll get flushed down the toilet. And
Yes.
that's what Marlon and Dory come in on. So they
Right.
think
the
Nemo's,
dentist is scooping him to give to Darla. Gil's final advice is to play dead.
Yep.
He wants to get to the drain. But yes, there's like this tension of Nigel getting Marlon and Dory to the window. They make it there just in time to see what they think is Nemo dead on the counter. So they give up. Nemo wakes up. Gil recognizes the panic of this moment and does what is potentially the sacrifice of load me into the volcano. Another thing we've set up in the movie that doesn't feel like it's going to be a sort of mechanic for action.
Right. It was just sort of a fun gag that they could make the volcano speak.
Right. That's just part of the ritual, but then we've shown that like it's not actually dangerous. But of course, yes, you could launch yourself from that.
So they all work together and they launch Gil over to the dentist tool tray.
Right. Who uses basically the tools to break Nemo's bag to be able to let Nemo flip into the drain of the dentist spit sink. But it's too late in the sense that Marlon and Dory think it's too late.
Yes,
Right.
they think he's
So
dead.
Nemo is flushed to sea.
Yeah.
And Marlon and Dory are back in the ocean. And Nigel also thinks Nemo's gone. And it's like,
Right.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I truly am. His second, I'm sorry, truly am, really gets to
The
me.
gravity of it.
Yeah, and then he just fucking flies away.
Yeah.
And Marlon has his lowest moment of just like, I mean, genuine grief.
Yeah.
of
He's crossed the
processing.
ocean. He came so close. His son is dead. And he's like, Dory, we're going our separate ways.
He's not even angry at Dory at this point.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's over.
She
it's
gives
fucking over.
the beautiful thing about like, I don't want to keep forgetting when I'm with you, with this relationship I'm able to remember. And he's like, I don't want to remember.
When I'm with you, I'm home.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, she makes her big plea and it falls on deaf ears because he's just going through too fucking much, which leaves her alone. This is where you're like, I felt like the movie was about to end, but now they're all split up again. Where's the
Sure.
movie even going? What moves does it still even have? And it's, oh, Nemo can bump into Dory and Dory cannot understand what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
at first,
right.
Nemo very sweetly is like, "Oh, like, are you lost?"
Yeah, right,
It's very cute. He's just escaped from like the most perilous situation ever. He's seen more than any little baby fish should.
But he wants to take care of her.
yeah,
Like, he
he's
wants to help
immediately like,
people.
"Okay, like I'll help you." He sees she's in distress.
Right. And once again, like if Marlin had listened to Dory's plea, he would have been reunited with his son in
Much
5
sooner.
minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
So Marlin goes away. There's these crabs who are fun.
Dory doesn't remember. You have
Yeah.
the moment of like, Nemo. That's a nice name.
Yeah. Oh, really funny.
Yeah. Perfectly played.
Yes.
And then what is it that helps her remember again?
It's
It's like a flashback.
Yeah, but what
what triggers
prompts
the
it?
P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way Sydney? Because she has the moment where it all comes flooding back.
Yeah.
Her like Kaiser Soze moment. I'm trying to remember what the verbal trigger is.
I don't remember.
Okay, well,
Doesn't
so
matter.
that the fact that we're
actually matters
forgetting
a
is
lot,
very
David.
no, it's metatextual that we don't remember, and it will come to us in a flashback, and it'll be like a parallel and whatever.
Yeah.
So that happens. She remembers, and they need to find Marlin.
Yeah. Right. And Marlin's just sort of following the school of fish.
Right.
I mean, you could argue he's borderline suicidal at this moment.
Yeah, so there's this big school of fish, and they're all like, "Hey, watch where you're going." They're like really dour. He's sort of caught up in that. They briefly reunite.
It's the pipe. I'm sorry. It's the pipe where the crabs are looking to catch the fish.
Yeah, that
and
come
it
out.
says Sydney on it.
oh,
She
right.
sees
Sydney.
that,
Right.
she reads it,
There you go.
and P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way Sydney comes back to
fans
her.
were
Yeah,
screaming.
and then she's like, "Oh, Nemo," and she's hugging him.
yeah.
With her little fins.
Yeah.
There's this big school of fish.
and I'm sorry, but just incredible Ellen DeGeneres line delivery. She does her similar like 7 thoughts in one sentence.
Mhm.
She goes, "We thought you were dead, and you're not, and your father." She has her one kind of scolding.
Yeah,
like-
while she's like squishing his
Yes.
face. It's really cute.
She's really good.
But we see this school of fish where they've just reunited.
Mhm.
Up above on the shore, there's a fishing trawler that's
Yeah.
No,
going
this
to.
is right. The net. Right.
Yeah, it's going to
yeah.
drop a big net and scoop up all of these fish.
Yeah. And Nemo's the only one who can basically save everybody.
Right. Oh no, because Dory gets caught up in it.
Yes.
And Marlin is now even though he realizes his mistake from abandoning Dory.
Yes.
He's not going to lose her again. So
Yes.
it's like we need to get her out of there and free all the fish. Nemo goes inside,
Yeah.
and Marlin has just got his son back, and he's like, "You cannot do this." But then it's like,
This
you
is
know
going
what?
to work. You need to trust me to.
I know that you can.
Yeah. And it's you've already had their moment of reunion.
Hmm.
So it's what's impactful is that Marlin has just gotten him back, and he so quickly accepts that he needs to trust him and let him go for another moment.
Yeah. So he schools all the fish,
So true.
This is
to
also yes.
swim down.
This is based on a real event
Yes.
that Stanton read about in the news.
There was some event where a school of fish seemed to somehow figure out how to beat a net.
to break the net.
Right.
Which is another great, like, oh shit, if you're telling me that happened for real.
Or
Yeah.
at least someone claims it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The movie's over, right? I mean, like, then we end up back at
Well,
the school and all that.
Excuse me. My
Like-
opening quote, another moment that makes me cry,
Mhm.
where he's looking at Nemo, who has succeeded in freeing all the fish, but he's lying kind of knocked out at the bottom of the ocean floor, at least this tier of the ocean floor,
Oh
right?
yeah, this is
And you
brutal.
have the mirroring of him going to Nemo and cradling him like the egg. And then to console him as he's like half awake,
Yeah.
he tells him the Sandy Plankton thing.
Right. Yeah. And it's a lovely moment. To me, the lovely moment is when he gets the
Sandy
information.
Plankton. When he gets the what?
When he's like, "How old are you?" And Crush goes, "150, dude." Like, that just makes me cry.
But see, it's the
Because it's
payoff
so
of it for
beautiful.
me.
The payoff's good too.
But both are
Both are incredible.
so
But-
sweet.
But the fact that he's able to tell him that and that he knows that and that he understands the value of having experiences and learning things for yourself. And that's what he like yells at Nemo about, which is so funny. His genuine frustration of why do you still give a shit about Sandy Plankton
Yeah.
is both very funny and very emotional.
Albert Brooks saying the name Sandy
Sandy
Plankton
Plankton.
to very important SpongeBob characters.
Yes, good call.
And
And-
he just delivers it in a really funny way.
And
it's
then
very sweet.
And then you cut forward basically to their new found family
they're
unit.
right.
Chosen
They're
family.
back at the anemone,
And
but
now
Dory's
it's
there.
Marlin jumping on Nemo
Yes.
because he's excited for him to go to school.
There's also a mid-credit scene where the tank gang does escape, which is fun.
Yes.
Oh, and Squirt's an exchange student now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Best. I just want to say this right now.
Also, but
Okay.
it was part of the reason why I was so concerned when they announced they were even making a sequel.
Yep.
Is this movie does end just perfectly.
It
Mhm.
does, but it's not like the Monsters Inc. ending where you're like, I truly don't know what you do.
No,
Finding Nemo does end with like, they live in the ocean and are friends. They could have another adventure.
it's Nemo swimming back to hug him and say I love you, and then swimming off, and Marlin saying I love you too, son, at a distance. You know,
Here-
that he says it to himself, kind of. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
And he says, go have an adventure. And Nemo says, okay.
But the last line is, yeah, I love you too.
Yeah.
Right.
Dad
'cause also,
stuff.
right before Nemo
Dad
got
stuff.
before Nemo got taken away, he said, "I hate you."
Exactly.
With
say
his
that.
like full force to his dad.
I hear you. I love this movie. I will say it does not quite activate my parent buttons in the way you guys seem to be.
That
but
is
like,
interesting.
Yeah.
but like not in like a way where I'm immune to it.
Does
but like,
it activate your child of a parent button? Is it more like the
Mm,
opposite
No,
identification?
I just like it because it's about fish and Dory's so funny.
It's pretty awesome.
But I think
that
all
they're
of the stuff
fish.
you're saying is very well done. Like I'm not, but it doesn't. It does. This movie doesn't like.
I'm
reduce me to
like, it's
rubble.
about
Yeah.
how secure attachment styles are formed
Yes.
Well,
in the
this is a
crucial
fair
early
point.
years of life.
Yes. I also need to correct myself. He does the swim back, love you, but then he just says bye, dad, while on Mr. Ray, yelled at a distance.
Yeah.
And then Marlin says bye, son, very quietly to himself.
Right.
The end.
Best.
Beautiful. Fucking Robbie Williams, Beyond the Sea.
Oh yeah, baby.
fuck that. Obviously, famously, if you see this movie, what's the language where the end is slut?
What?
What?
So there's a language where at the end it comes up on the screen and just says slut.
And that became an old like Twitter
I
and
don't know
YouTube
if I've
meme of
ever
like
seen this. Yeah.
the end of YouTube, but then it just goes slut.
Well, then wouldn't that happen in like 100 movies?
Yes, but it's just especially funny in Nemo. But also, most movies don't say the end
Yeah,
at
well,
the end
kids'
anymore.
movies
It's
definitely
Swedish.
do.
Mm-hmm.
It's Swedish.
That is awesome.
I will find it now.
Slut.
Do you know, speaking of languages, this is only the second movie ever that was dubbed into Navajo.
That's amazing.
Whoa.
Here we go. See, here's the ending, the
Okay,
water.
we're looking at the shot.
You know,
And that just, it does just say slut. In fact, it does just say slut.
best supporting actress of 2003. Here were the Oscar nominees. I want to say this right now.
Yeah.
The nominees were Renee Zellweger for Cold Mountain, who
Won.
won unbelievably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shore Aghdashloo for House of Sand and Fog. Lovely nomination.
Mhm.
Mediocre movie. Patricia Clarkson for Pieces of April. Better in The Station Agent, but still pretty good.
Yeah, that's a weird one where that movie
It was a combo.
doesn't
nom.
exist, but there was a moment of, hey, Patricia Clarkson's
gotta
always
get her
been
a
good.
nom.
She has 2 great performances this year. Let's give her a lifetime kind of.
You pick.
Yeah.
And the Pieces of April, she has cancer or whatever. It's a little more.
but a
you know,
totally forgotten movie that she's
somewhat
very good.
forgotten. Yes,
Yeah.
she's good in it. Marcia Gay Harden in Mystic River. Kind of an odd nom. She's
Yeah.
not bad in it.
Yeah.
Holly Hunter in 13. A very good performance because she's a good actor in a very sort of overwrought movie.
Yeah.
Ellen DeGeneres is better than all of those performances, like by far.
Did
like it's
she-
not even a question.
Did BAFTA nominate her? I know
No,
they nominated Eddie Murphy.
I think
Right.
they flirted with it, but like she might have made a long list or something. She got a couple of like she won the Saturn, but
Yeah.
the Saturns are a little. She got a couple of critics award, like Chicago
There were
nominated
a lot
her.
of critics saying like, "This is the time to finally do this."
This
And
is
this
what I wanted
still
to
has
say.
not happened.
It still
No.
has not happened.
A
a voiceover
vocal
performance.
performance. No, it's
there are
never.
very few that are at the level that deserve it.
It
but
is
this
the kind of transformative performance that I think the Oscars, especially when you hear
Yes.
those 5 names.
Yes.
No offense to them.
No, but that's like
Good
a pretty.
actors all.
Well, the
that is a
anti-circus
lineup
thing was
that has
also a big
not-
thing at the time,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, that was also a big thing.
Yeah.
But
But that's also like motion. Like
It
whatever.
did get a Oscar for animated film, obviously, and it was nominated for
Screenplay.
screenplay.
It got
and,
4
sound
nominations.
and music,
Yeah.
I think.
Yes.
The music, the score is
It's a great score.
beautiful.
It's Newman's best score.
I was going to
I
ask
think.
you because I know
I think.
sometimes you can be a little snarky about Newman.
He
He goes
has a thing that he does.
Yes.
And I enjoy the thing that he does, but I do feel that he, you kind of know what you're getting with a Newman score.
I think this is
Thomas
his
Newman.
best score. I agree with
I
you.
think so.
It is a secret power of this movie, just that even though he and Randy Newman are part of the same lineage, that all the Pixar movies musically sounded so similar, and this one starts so differently.
Mhm.
And when you hear the opening strains of the Thomas Newman score over the anemone house hunting scene at the beginning, you're immediately like, oh, Thomas Newman's whole thing he does all the time sounds like the ocean.
It does.
There is no
really
better
sounds
fit
like
the
for
ocean.
his style
It's 100%.
than this.
Obviously, Lord of the Rings won that year, and that is very, very, very good music.
But had Howard Shore already won
he won
for the
Fellowship,
first?
but you have to give it to him for Return. It has the beacon lighting. Like, it has the most, like, bravura shit he ever did.
They didn't give it to him for Two Towers?
No, they didn't give it
Who
to
won
him.
a 02?
Let's find out.
Because
right
also the
now.
Hours...
Let's travel through time to
I
the
keep
Oscars
being
of-
corrected that the Hours didn't win and wasn't nominated. Yeah.
No, right, because that's the Frida year. Golden
Oh,
Fall swipes
right.
it from Glass.
Interesting. I think this is...
Incredible year because Catch Me If You Can is also nominated. The wonderful Elmer Bernstein score for Far From Heaven, and Thomas Newman's very nice Road to Perdition score.
I love that score.
Very nice.
But this feels like a real... They fucked themselves by not giving it to Thomas Newman the year where it made the most sense. And now they're just constantly living in the shadow of how many nominations they've given him.
Yes,
And the idea that he's maybe never going to have a moment as clear cut as this one again.
I wonder.
The score's incredible, script's incredible. I feel like this is the point you're making.
What's up?
Even with the anti-animation, stigmas, this is a year where, like, WALL-E becomes a breaking point in 2008.
Right.
We'll talk about in that episode that as much as Dark Knight, I would argue, leads to the expansion of
It
the
does.
10.
It was part and parcel.
But this is a year where people were really like, do we have to nominate Finding Nemo? And it felt like the conversation couldn't get traction, even though everyone sort of sensed like, this feels as important as Beauty and the Beast and sort of signaling a change in the industry, on top of it being such a seismic success. In a year without Lord of the Rings, where you didn't have a more obvious blockbuster film, maybe this would have gotten in. But even with the anti-voice actor prejudice, I feel like fucking Ellen DeGeneres was like 7 or 8 on the list.
Might have been.
And part of that's just how weird and kind of weak that supporting actress field was. But you're right. It does feel egregious that she couldn't beat any of those 5.
I agree.
I was transitioning, but then I wanted to interject quickly. I never saw this movie before.
What?
That's insane.
Ah.
Yeah.
I
but
knew
it's
when
the
I was
wettest
talking.
movie.
It's true.
It is the wettest film. When I was talking about how adults would go see this film, you were giving me a look like you were holding something back.
Yeah. It's so sweet. I loved it.
I guess it makes sense that you weren't in the market for Finding Nemo at the time.
You were
Yes.
you were just enough older than us, and you've also
But,
talked
like,
about your
right.
sort of like teenage, like fuck the mainstream.
I only saw it because
opting
I
out
was
of
like a
movies.
nerdy film fan. Like, right.
Yeah.
I had no reason to see it
I mean,
otherwise.
2003, that summer is when I graduated from high school.
Right.
Cool. Pretty cool.
Now, I will say I'm somewhat similar to Dory
Mm-hmm.
because at that point I had already really dove headfirst into a lifestyle that has led to memory loss.
Ben has written this out. He's reading from a prepared statement. I'm not making fun of you for that. I just think I want people to know the level of intentionality with which you're speaking right now.
But I think it's long-term memory.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
The short-term stuff you remember, the bits.
But we should, I think,
Yeah. What's it?
introduce the podcast.
Oh, sure. This is Blank
there
Check
he
with Griffin and
goes.
David. I'm Griffin.
Swish. I want to point out, as I'm sure Griffin you already know, that every Pixar movie before this one had come out in November.
Mhm.
That was the Pixar spot.
Yep.
And originally this was planned for November too.
Mhm.
But possibly because of sort of the aesthetic of the movie, right? The
Summer,
summery
it's
vibe of
Australia.
it.
Perfect summer
They're
movie.
like, no, May 30th.
There are also a couple other things that factor into that, right? One is I think they didn't want to, this not getting stuck in a rut thing we talked about. The other thing that's happening around this time is Lasseter goes out and poaches Brad Bird, who now is sort of orphaned after
course.
Warner Brothers Animation has collapsed.
right.
And part of that was we're worried about repeating ourselves. We need to get someone else in to shake this up and change the pattern. And they talk about a little bit like Lilo and Stitch being seen as the secondary film,
redheaded stepchild or
while
whatever.
Treasure Planet was the main focus.
Right.
That everyone was so fucking amped up about Incredibles, and it was like, we got Brad Bird, he's a
It's a
genius,
superhero
the script is
movie.
perfect,
Right.
we're making an action film, it's a little bit older. That Nemo's sort of slipping through the cracks a little bit,
Yeah.
is seen as less exciting and less sexy. But there's also this thing that Disney is sort of pushing on Pixar, which is, if the movie comes out in May, we can sell merchandise in May,
Sure.
have the home video release come out around Thanksgiving,
Right.
make it the #1 Christmas gift, and do a second wave of merchandise in December.
Sure.
Which basically Eisner pushes on them as like, it's big to be a holiday film,
Right.
but now that we know that Pixar's basically a proven brand and the movie's going to hit no matter what, we'll make more money on these characters if you release earlier. And most of the Pixar movies swing to summer after this. Famously, what were you going to say?
No, what were you going to say? Famously what?
There's the original Pixar deal after Toy Story where they sign them up for 5 films.
Yes.
There'll be an autonomous company, but Disney has
Yes.
distribution rights and will own the characters in perpetuity.
Right.
And those 5 films are supposed to be Monsters, Inc., Nemo, Incredibles, Cars, and A Bug's Life. I forgot the first one chronologically. Where they get fucked on this deal is they said sequels don't count. We
Right.
want you to make Toy Story 2 right away, but sequels don't count. That's going direct to video.
Right.
When they up it to theaters, Lasseter goes, so that's one of our 5 films. And Eisner goes, no, we get that for free because it was meant for video.
What a jerk.
That leads to the tensions between Pixar and
Yeah, of
Disney
course.
Mhm.
that made people
They
think
almost break up.
when they're done with the 5th film, which is going to be Cars, they're going to leave. Every film was more successful than the previous film. They kept outgrossing themselves. And everyone around Eisner at Disney was like, you got to do anything you can do to make good with Pixar now because we can't lose them.
Right.
And what Eisner kept saying was, they're going to fail at some point. One of these movies is going to flop, and then we're going to own their asses because they're not going to have negotiating leverage. And he was really confident that Nemo was the one.
Well, he was wrong.
He kept saying to people, this one's not as commercial. Fish aren't going to sell as much merchandise. Even if it's just down a little bit, they're weaker and they'll come begging us.
No, it was their biggest hit. Yeah.
And that basically like puts the death knell on Eisner. It's a big part of why he's pushed out of the company, that he fucks that up with his arrogance. And that's a little bit, I think, why they wanted to go to summer to see like if I whatever. But the other part of the story is that it was seen as the secondary film. No one was confident about it. There were these big fucking like CinemaCon and licensing, conventions where they have to go and sell these movies years in advance in order to get people on board with them for merchandise and for, the theater partners and whatever. And there was one of these where they didn't have enough footage to show, or it wasn't in a good enough state. And the movie had a bit of a stink around it because Eisner kept shit talking it, and they need to go combat it. And they sent Andrew Stanton out, and he basically performed the movie for 40 minutes, similar to the pitch that
Sure.
he did for Lasseter. And everyone walks out of that being like, that's the fucking biggest hit. That shit, the way he told the story and did all the voices and the emotions and
It's
everything.
like Nigel telling the story to Nemo.
Truly. And you can see it's on the DVD and the Blu-ray and the fucking iTunes extras. There's like a super cut of the moments of him doing that.
Wow.
But he basically just kind of willed this movie into not being totally disregarded because Disney kept trying to like slide it over, and anyone who was engaging with it was like, it feels like this thing has the juice.
It opens to $70 million.
Humongous.
Biggest hit in their career, in their time so far. Monsters Inc. did 62.
Mhm.
Ends at 339 domestic, 871 worldwide. It's made more now with re-releases and stuff.
The 3D re-release, which Stanton oversaw, is what convinced him to finally do Finding Dory, but it also added basically another $100 million to the
Something
gross.
else convinced Finding.
We'll talk about it.
It's number 1 at the box office on May 30th. Number 2 is the film that
Matrix.
was number 1 the week before. No.
Um,
Matrix has been out for, I think, 3+ weeks.
Okay, let me go through May in my head. So the opening movie of the summer is X2, X-Men United.
That is number 7.
Then Matrix comes out the following weekend.
Matrix Reloaded is number 4.
And
And no, I think it was 2 weeks between them. But,
okay, and then the next May
it's
blockbuster.
a huge comedy.
It's Bruce Almighty.
Got a yo-yo.
Which-
That's the Earth.
Like also opened to 70 million.
Huge hit.
This month was through the roof.
America was just doing great.
Yeah.
Movies were doing great.
But you
America was
basically-
actually doing horribly.
You basically had 4 consecutive $70 million opening weekends.
I remember it so well. It was my IMDb Pro era.
Right.
My mom got a subscription for work.
Yeah.
And so I had it, and
Yeah.
it had such good box office imagery and stuff. And like,
Yeah.
I just remember like Bruce.
Right.
Terrible movie.
Yeah, awful.
It's a bad movie.
But it was the biggest comedy opening weekend of all time.
Yep.
Matrix had a 5-day, so its 3-day was a little smaller, but it opened over 100 if you count the 5-day. Nemo's the biggest animation opening in history.
Mhm.
X-Men was the biggest superhero opening.
Yeah, you got Pirates coming down the pike
Yeah.
in later
Oh,
summer.
hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, those crazy
Bad
Pirates.
Boys 2.
Bad Boys 2, Terminator 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, number 3 at the box office, opening against Nemo. Slightly underwhelming in its opening, but I think it kind of legged out a pretty good gross.
Italian Job.
It's Mark Wahlberg and Charlize Theron in the Italian
Was a
Job.
sleeper. It made it to 100.
In my memory, it's pretty fun.
It's fun.
I've not seen it in 20 years.
It looked like dog shit, and everyone was like, why would they remake this? And then it kind
in
of was
Britain,
a word
it was
of mouth
seen as
hit.
kind of like a national crime.
This is offensive.
Yeah, it was like you're making one of our things.
You
Now,
already did Get Carter. Why are you kicking us even further?
I find the British obsession with the Italian Job a little insane. Like that movie is basically like boring until the end, which does rock.
Okay.
Like the stuff with the minis is great. That's mostly not the movie.
Interesting. Yeah.
But it's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like the Italian Job with Mark Wahlberg and Edward Norton and Charlize Theron and Mos Def and whoever else?
Can't
is
say
in
I've
it?
ever seen it. I remember it being huge, and back when Canada's Wonderland was Paramount Canada's Wonderland,
glad
there
you're bringing
was
this up.
an Italian Job coaster where you were riding in the Mini Coopers.
That sounds fun.
David, Canada's Wonderland, a theme park that used to be Paramount branded and is not anymore, has like 10 rides that are all clearly connected to Paramount movies, but they lost the license and now they're just generic.
Yeah, so Top Gun is now like Flight Deck.
Right. And the Italian Job one is called like Stunt Track or some
Yeah, and Tomb Raider is called.
like Temple Explorer.
Yeah.
There was a Wayne's World coaster at one point called the Hurlinator.
Okay, that I don't know about. But that's
Um,
awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what the other ones are, but that park is very funny
Um,
for that reason.
Yeah, the Italian Job
Like
is
the-
called
the
Backlot Stunt Coaster.
Big icon of the park instead of like the Disney Castle is like the Paramount Mountain.
And now they're
basically.
just like, it's a mountain.
Mhm.
But yes, the Italian Job roller coaster still has Mini Coopers. And they were like, it's just one of those chase sequences from any Hollywood movie.
Yeah, I see it right here. Well,
Yeah.
you're not going to change them.
No.
Number 5 at the box office is a film you've seen many times. Many, many, many times.
It's specifically one of my movies.
You don't like it, but you've seen it. Maybe you like it. You don't love it.
I don't love it, but I've seen
Your sister loved this movie.
I do think this movie's very good. This is way up on the list of the movies I have seen most in my life
Why?
because
I'm
my
looking.
my sister Romilly, past and future guest, longtime sister,
Yep.
was not a kid who obsessively watched the same thing over and over again,
Mhm.
other than this one film, which for 7 years was in constant rotation. It is Eddie Murphy's Daddy Daycare.
Daddy
Oh,
Daycare.
Oh yeah, we've spoken about this because this was a similar thing where it's like I was watching this genuinely every single weekend
Yeah.
at my friend's house. It's like we're gonna have a sleepover.
It's Daddy
We're
Daycare.
gonna watch Daddy Daycare.
I think Daddy Daycare is very funny, but it could be Stockholm Syndrome. It is a movie I will defend as like, no, that one's actually well written and it has a good cast. But also, I've seen it so many times that if I didn't find it funny, I wouldn't have been able to survive.
Number 6, opening this weekend, new is my favorite Eliza Dushku horror franchise,
Wrong
Wrong
Turn?
Turn, which Wikipedia calls the first installment in the Wrong Turn series. It's like, let's relax.
What's your second favorite Eliza Dushku horror franchise? Out of curiosity.
All those other ones she's done. Do love Dushku though. Who doesn't love a little Dushku?
Yeah, douche it up.
Number 7 is
Are you a
X2.
douchebag? Would you say
I'm
you
a
self-identify
douchebag.
as a
Huge
douchebag? Yeah.
Number 7 is X2. Number 8 is The In-Laws. So that's with Albert Brooks,
Yeah,
right?
bombing at the same time.
Big bomb.
Whoa,
Yeah, huge bomb.
Number 9 is another bomb, but a great film, Down with Love.
love.
And number 10 is probably the most important cultural text of 2003, the Lizzie McGuire movie.
Oh my god.
Made the mistake of
boy.
opening against
no,
X2.
what a summer that was.
Yeah.
The summer of the Lizzie McGuire movie.
Hey now, this is
Yep.
what dreams are made of.
Oh
The
yeah.
only risk in taking
Sing for me, Paolo.
an adventure is not taking it at all. Something like that.
I have a very
Sort
defined,
of the Finding Nemo message.
a real kind of defining memory of all the girls in my grade going to see Lizzie McGuire movie that Friday, opening day.
Mhm.
same day that X2, X-Men United came out. And the girls were angry that none of the boys wanted to go see Lizzie McGuire.
Sense.
And I, quite a big fan of the X-Men. And I remember the girls in my grade basically being like, if you come see the Lizzie McGuire movie with us, someone will make out with you.
Did anyone?
No, I didn't go see it. Of course, I went to X2, X-Men
X2,
United.
X-Men, the X-Men are united in this film.
I was like, I'm sorry, you don't understand what you're up against here. You have no leverage in this conversation.
X2 was a pretty exciting day. That
Yeah.
was pretty cool.
I was like night crawlers in this one.
I know, and it was just kind of that thing of like the first one worked, so they're gonna get to be a little like
Yeah.
more off the leash with
Yeah,
this.
I was
one.
like, you could promise me that Jessica Alba would make out with me and I wouldn't go see the Lizzie McGuire movie
This
right
old
now.
woman herself.
Can we talk about theme parks, please?
So, a couple of very important things. It was revolutionary at the time, Turtle Talk with Crush. So Epcot has the second largest research aquarium in the country is within Epcot. It is something that Disney does not take enough advantage of. It's a wonderful little aquarium.
And I
Yes.
think of interest to David was basically seen as on the chopping block in the early 2000s. All this educational, scientific shit
Mhm.
is lame. We got to get characters back in here.
They have rescue manatees there. So they
the fact
decided
that they had a blockbuster fish movie saved all this shit.
The Seas is now going to be
looking at it
rebranded
right
as
here.
The Seas with
Nemo
Nemo, and
and
Friends.
Friends,
And one of
yes.
the great attractions
Mhm.
there is Turtle Talk with Crush.
Yes.
That's where
Um,
I've seen videos of this.
Yeah, it's really, at the time,
It was live puppeteering, basically, Ben.
like
They had
reaction.
an
Puppeteering of
animated
a
model
CG.
that could do
Right.
crowd work. So the audience would be there.
It's like, your name's Griffin. Wow.
They had
like a
cameras.
mythical
They'd make jokes
beast.
about the guy
No, but
wearing the
it's
silly
so,
hat.
It's so cohesive because you're
Yes.
looking at all these fish tanks at the aquarium, and then you go to one that's like a fish tank, but it's a screen and it's Crush, and he makes jokes with all the kids, and it's fun. There's also a little ride where you're riding in shells, and the characters from Nemo are being projected onto windows into the real tanks.
But then there are also some sculptures, and you're
Yeah.
seeing real fish. It's
Yeah.
like they kept using Nemo characters as the bait to get children to engage with real aquatic life.
There's also
That sounds very nice.
I don't want to talk about it because it sucks, but they reskinned at Disneyland the submarine voyage ride with
Becca,
Nemo
I
stuff.
could not disagree more. This is one of my favorite attractions.
I want to skip over that.
It is
'cause I
one of my
really
safe
need to go
spaces.
It's now
Okay, wait.
called Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage.
Yes.
Convince elevator pitch.
You go into a submarine that is on tracks. They make you feel like it's free
Watching a
floating, but you are
video.
genuinely underwater.
Mhm.
And then it is a technical marvel where you are going around in a loop while the Thomas Newman score soothes my anxiety.
But-
and you see a combination of real fish and like incredible projection where it looks like real animation is happening outside the window of the submarine.
But what?
I'm going to be honest, you're selling me.
But what was lost?
Nothing
Like,
was lost. It was just
okay.
already kind of like a dull experience.
Oh,
but
you're
you're right. Adding the
anti.
IP onto it doesn't.
Yeah, it was more
And
like
it's a unique ride mechanic.
a big fake octopus attacks you and you have like a Jacques Cousteau style narrator
Right.
just telling you about it.
It's just funny because it's so, to most people, it would be very anxiety inducing. You're going into a small claustrophobic capsule and going
True.
underwater.
How
I
many
think-
people are on the sub?
No, it's a very slow moving line.
Yeah. But it's you all have your own seat. The seats face in opposite directions. Everyone has their own little hole they get to look
Right.
at.
Well,
I think I would find it
anglerfish,
anxiety
it looks
provoking did
like.
it not have my good friends and the Thomas Newman score and the vibes and the colors. Maybe that's why I like it so much.
It's 12 minutes.
yeah.
That seems very long. to
I
me.
love these rides that are just like
I'm not anti.
shit's
to be
gonna
clear.
slow down. You just get to stay seated. Nothing's gonna happen to your tummy. These are nice kind of refresh points in a theme park day
Yeah.
of like I can just vibe out here.
Yeah, and it's less overstimulating than like a small world or something.
Yes, I never
Um,
skip it.
The last thing I want to bring up, because I think it is one of the great achievements of the 21st century at the theme parks, which is at Animal Kingdom, Finding Nemo the musical. I think this is a really, really significant
you
piece of
referring
theme park
to
entertainment.
The Big Blue and Beyond.
No, this is the so a few
That- yeah,
years ago, they were like, we need to cut down the
Just
runtime of
looking
Finding
so I
Nemo the
understand the
musical.
context.
It
That's a
used to be
bastardized version. but
40 minutes and now it's like 20 minutes.
This was the first time Disney worked with Robert and Kristen Lopez.
This is what's interesting about this, David.
Right. So they got them off of Avenue Q to be like,
I
you
know
need
him.
to
I
write
know him
a
well.
Finding Nemo
Cheering, he's
musical.
holding up big foam fingers and a
My
pendant.
sign is so far away, Ben.
The
My
way
stop sign.
that the
No.
stage uses the vertical space for these
Mhm.
underwater
looks
creatures.
cool.
It's some Julie
The
Taymor
puppetry.
style. You see the puppeteers visibly, but the puppets are in different ways worked around their bodies.
The Nigel puppet
Yeah,
is
is
the
incredible.
most impressive,
Gigantic.
biggest thing I've outside of the King Kong musical. It's like that Nigel puppet is jaw dropping, and the song that they do for the turtles is so good. It's like a Beach Boys type thing, and it's just awesome. And
I
like,
also think "Not My Dad" is a great
oh,
song.
Nemo's first it's Where's My Dad, and
Yeah.
then it's Not My Dad.
Right, when Nigel tries to tell him the story.
In the Big Blue World.
I've-
Like, these songs are genuinely for theme park entertainment. It is an excellent family musical. I don't understand why they've never
This is my question.
tried to do it on
the
Broadway.
Lopez's over delivered on a theme park musical, which made Disney go like, "Oh fuck, we got to have these people work on everything," which
Right.
leads to obviously Frozen and Coco and all these other things.
Yeah.
I have never understood why they've never attempted to transfer this to Broadway, because even just like the visual approach, they cracked the code on how to make these characters work on stage.
Yeah.
They cracked the puppets. The songs are good. I'm like, if you just doubled this length, and I'm sure they would just write more songs.
Easily.
Right.
And there's so many good songs packed into it already.
This thing would be a huge fucking hit. And instead of ever transferring it after like 15 years, they were like, let's make it shorter.
Yeah.
And
let's
now
make
it's like a 15-minute like greatest hits abridged version.
yeah, but I will never
Is
stop.
that just to move people through? Like, why a bridge?
Maybe kids' attention spans
Yeah, 40
nowadays, and
minutes
also
is a long
probably some
time.
equity thing with the performers.
That's
Like, this is a
probably it.
really, especially Crush's song.
Yeah.
For a guy to be singing that, it's tough on the vocal
tough.
cords.
It looks like Crush's song is called "Go with the Flow."
It absolutely is.
But David, theme parks love having shows like this that are successful because they're people eaters. They take pressure off the lines for the rides.
Yeah.
If you can get
People
someone
eaters.
to sit down for 40 minutes, and if
I
you can
understand.
pack a house,
I
and this was
understand.
one of the few shows that people were like, this is actually good. It's not just kind of like a shitty restaging of, there was the Aladdin
I know
show.
Becca has to go. I was gonna say you guys could just keep going. I feel like you guys
We
could do this
will.
for another hour.
Oh God, I really do need to go soon.
Have you ever been on Podcast The Ride?
No, because I
How has
haven't
that
been
not
in.
happened?
Well, we've spoken about it, but then like I don't know when I'm going to be in LA next.
Podcast The Ride and
Yeah, I guess they
Doughboys
don't
are
really
the
do a
two
lot
that
of-
it feels like you have been inevitable on
This
for
is
years,
like-
and the schedules never line up.
This is the beginning of my
Campaign.
life's wish triple crown.
Right, like I
Yes.
feel like for
To
you, like
do
being on
Blank
Blank
Check.
Check
Wow.
is an enjoyable lark, but like it's a mere stepping stone to Podcast The
No,
Ride.
no,
where
no,
you
no.
belong.
You misunderstand.
Okay, all
I
right.
love Blank Check.
Wow.
That's very nice of you.
It's
I love everything you do.
a
the best.
masterpiece of podcasts.
Ugh.
It's a dream to be on the podcast that I like so much.
Is there no other Nemo theme park stuff?
Well, there's Crush's Coaster in Paris. There's a simulator in Disney Sea, but
Oh, Crush's Coaster. Yeah, Crush's
it's
Coaster
delightful.
it's very good. It is the exact
You're
kind
in
of
a
ride
shell.
you hate. It's a shell that's moving fast
And you're spinning.
You're in an indoor
Oh,
roller
it's
coaster.
a mousy type ride.
They play the
Yeah.
kind of surf rocky. Yes. Hey,
Yeah.
I like that you knew the
Yeah.
term.
Right, isn't that what they're
A-
called?
yes.
A tiny
a wild
mouse,
mouse. A wild
mouse coaster.
mouse.
It's very fun. It's in
It
the
doesn't
sort
sound fun
of
to me.
yeah, but you would hate
Sounds
it.
like bullshit.
Yes.
What was the other thing
But
you
they
said?
play the Thomas Noonan like surf rock score. The environment's very fun. They have lights and colors.
Yeah, and that's in the bad part of Disneyland Paris, right? The
Although
second
it's just
part.
Wrong
now
side of
Yeah,
the
they've
Alps.
rebranded it. Now they have Olaf there.
They have
and
Arendelle.
children get to learn about death by watching Olaf power down in front of them.
Oh yeah, right. I
falls
saw that.
down on a boat.
Which is so Parisian. It's so the ennui of they made an animatronic
Yes.
for
Il est
Disneyland
mort.
Paris who dies in front of you.
Yes.
I will say Crush's Coaster doesn't look that intense. I'm watching.
Yeah, it's a family coaster.
Right.
This is the other thing with Disney. Nothing is
I know
that
nothing is that
intense,
like Hellraiser,
but that is
yeah.
as close to being a thrill ride as Disney gets,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. No. Oh, disagree.
What do you put higher? I'm
Well,
saying that
even at that park, Indiana Jones is way more intense.
I made the mistake of getting my brother was living in France at the time, and I took him to Disney, and he showed up with his backpack and his laptop because he said, "I'm gonna have to just do some work at some point."
Sounds like your brother.
And so he was really worried about the security of his laptop, and he
Oh,
was like,
no.
"This thing isn't gonna go upside down, right?" And I was like, "No, it's Disney. Nothing goes upside down." He was very angry at me at the end of that ride.
Yeah,
Does it go upside down?
It does.
I'm
It's the
watching it
minecart
right now.
roller
I'm
coaster.
watching it.
It does
Um,
one loop.
I
Sure.
think so.
One little saucy
I
loop.
will
He was
plug
holding onto his backpack for dear life.
I will plug vulture.com.
Sure.
And that's pretty much it. I
What do you
think
mean?
Popcorn bucket.
they've canceled my ass.
It's bullshit.
That's
Oh,
bullshit.
yeah,
the
there's the
man
loop.
the man
That's
didn't want me
crazy.
speaking truth about Devil Wears Prada bucket shaped like a
We
bag.
tried to fucking
Michael Jackson bucket shaped like a hat. They don't want me revealing these stories.
For shame.
and I'll
So-
say tried to force the issue through Critical Darlings.
Yeah, we really did. So actually,
Video
letter
never
writing
released.
campaign.
Buried.
Comment on all of Vulture's social media saying bring back the
Please,
popcorn.
the
bucket
buckets still
reviews.
exist. I came in today asking Becca to do a bucket trade because I never got the Fantastic Car from Fantastic Four
Oh,
First
sure.
Steps, and I said I would promise to trade her the F1 popcorn bucket that was supposed to be part of the Critical Darlings Oscar nominees segment year in review. And Becca has made it clear that she does
I
not
said,
want the
"Please, no
F1
more."
bucket.
I have 5 Melania buckets on my desk. I
And
don't know
those
what to do
things-
with them.
Those things talk about being worth negative comedy points.
Yeah, well,
The Melania bucket.
they make me laugh.
Okay, well
Does
then that's all
Lee
that matters.
Cronin's The Mummy have a bucket?
I don't
That's
know.
like a
I don't
dead
look.
child.
I'm
I
off.
think
I'm
so.
off the beat. They
Alright,
pulled
fine.
me off the case.
It's an injustice, and let's
What
just
if it was just Lee Cronin,
that would be good.
just to honor his
Lee
sense of work?
Cronin's The Popcorn.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's make it clear to our listeners. Let your voices be heard.
Yes.
Becca, previously on the masthead, chief popcorn critic,
Yeah.
popcorn bucket critic, and we want this reinstated. We want the coverage back.
Bring back bucket.
Yeah, but in the same way that you should all join Blank Check Patreon, you should
This is a good plug.
subscribe to a magazine.
Subscribe to
Subscribe
a
to-
magazine.
I'm
This
a
is
New York
great.
Magazine subscriber.
Hashtag bring back Becca's buckets.
Sure.
And on the day of
BBBB.
the release of this episode, June 21st,
Mhm.
over on Patreon, RoboCop 2 is coming out.
Oh,
wow.
a movie I love as much as Finding Nemo.
A commentary where we're kind of like, this isn't very good the whole
David,
time.
can
Oh, I'm
we-
sorry.
Can we take that
We
again?
reveal our deepest secrets.
I get pretty worked
Okay.
up. I don't want people to
Yeah,
think
you get
I'm
pretty worked up.
apathetic
No,
on that
right. You get pretty
episode.
worked up.
I get pretty
But
worked
I think
up.
we're even-handed and fair about its flaws.
I try not to be an asshole.
Right. We're not just like shitting all over it. We're just kind of like,
My
that's
cousin
not right.
shows up randomly
Whoa.
that we've
You
never
should've
talked about
led
before,
with
and
that.
he kind of looks like me. I'm like,
Oh, you're
the
doing like
sitcom
fun sweep
stereotype.
kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Joe
Uh,
Biden's the guest.
Urkel
Yeah.
appears.
Right. We have Urkel, Stefan Urkel,
Okay.
Steve Urkel,
Steve Urkel.
and the Urkel bot all appear on the episode.
Urkelbot.
Yeah.
Urkelbot is there.
All
Yeah.
right, take us out.
And when AJ recently plugged Urkel in our group chat.
No, did he?
Yeah, he did.
This is another thing I've been thinking. Andrew Stanton and AJ kind of look similar.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
got some AJ vibes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just talking about like a guy in a half zip with like hair. I mean, like not to insult AJ. It's kind of like a normal looking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AJ's very handsome, but he looks like the
Good-looking guy.
default video
guy.
game avatar
Right. He's
before
like,
you make
he's
any
right. He's your
adjustments.
sim before you start doing stuff. Sorry, AJ. You're very good looking.
I prefaced it with very
Everyone we
handsome.
employ is good looking. JJ especially. Stupid sexy JJ.
It actually sucks. I hated spending a weekend with his fucking hot ass. I'm gonna stand next to him.
And former employee Nick texts me after meeting Ben, being like, "What's his skincare routine?"
Yeah.
And
I
you want
was
to know
like,
the secret?
I was like, Nick, why would I know?
I mean, that is funny that he asked you,
Like,
but
ask Ben. I don't fucking know
here's
what
my
he does.
secret.
Mm.
I don't do shit.
Yeah, that would have been my guess.
AJ and his family came into the city, and we got lunch with AJ and his son. And he was telling me that he's into SNL now. AJ's son, who's like 8, I think.
Sure.
And so I was asking him about like which sketches he likes and
Good
which cast
lady.
members he likes. And I was like, "Do you like Colin Jost?" And he went, "Who's Colin Jost?" And AJ went, "The guy where he comes on screen, you point and go, daddy."
Dude. Someone at one of our live shows texted me like, I think Colin Jost is here.
AJ is
and I
blonde
was
Colin
like, that's
Jost.
AJ. Like, that's just AJ.
Yeah. So Colin Jost, Andrew Stanton, AJ McKeon, all on a spectrum. I just want to establish this at the beginning of the miniseries.
You guys are huge.
So
Colin
we can
Jost
do
came
running
coming
jokes about it.
unannounced to sit in the... No, that's AJ.
I overheard Colin Jost talking about making edits to a Patreon episode. Why is he doing that?
I'm going to pee. Take us out.
Thank you all for listening. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. I'm very excited to be talking about the films of Andrew Stanton. I mean, few filmmakers we have ever covered or will ever cover more conform to the intro of this show. Directors who have massive success early on in their careers and are given a series of blank checks to make whatever crazy passion products they want. Sometimes those checks clear Wall-E, and sometimes they bounce Baby John Carter. In 3 films, that's the whole fucking premise of this podcast. That's all. I'm very excited to be doing this. And I'm very excited that we're going to talk about Toy Story 5 on main feed. And I'm very excited. And I'm glad that David's in the bathroom when I'm saying this so he doesn't get jealous that Forky's getting married in Toy Story 5. Forky's wedding. Forky's wedding, Ben. Forky's going to make Karen Beverly an honest knife. Tune in next week for Wall-E with David Ehrlich, a man who has seen that film 800 times, I think, approximately. And as always, Forky is getting married. Okay, I'm making these edits here, David. You're going to have to be Nemo.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the lighter
I've been
lift.
born for that role.
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's not the lighter. You have to be Marlin. If you're not
Correct.
Marlin, it's a disaster.
Correct.
I mean, I think you should just do your Marlin line that you've been doing on this show for 11 years.
Which is the...
It's like
you think you can do these things, but you can't, Nemo.
You've said that so many times on Blank Check.
I think it's one of the best lines of screenwriting
Well, it's
ever.
also like clearly your Brooks is like locked into that line. Like, as
Yeah,
well.
it's
like,
my
you know.
activator.
Right.
Yeah.
Blank Check with Griffin and David is hosted by